be over 3 years. The prosecutor's no-show prompted the NPA to announce disciplinary action against him, placing him on suspension pending an internal process. The authority now says it has been unable to reach him, adding that it cannot rule out any possibility at this stage. NPA Special Director of Public Prosecutions, Mthunzi Mhaga.
We are unable to even think and speculate on what could have happened in the circumstances where there's no explanation that has been forthcoming.
The NPA says it is now working to re-enroll the matter through the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions in Mpumalanga. Monke Ziko, Eyewitness News, KwaGafontein.
Following the arrest of controversial political fixer Brown Mogotsi for allegedly staging his own assassination attempt, the police have warned the public against filing false reports. Mogotsi appeared in the Johannesburg Magistrates Court yesterday for allegedly faking his own assassination attempt last year. He faces charges of defeating the ends of justice, perjury, unlawful possession of a gun and ammunition, and discharging a firearm. Police spokesperson Athlenda Mate.
As the SAPS, we take this opportunity to warn members of the public in opening false cases and providing misleading information to the police, because such incidents and actions can lead to cases of perjury, defeating the ends of justice. And such actions actually waste valuable police resources that could have been used to investigate other cases. It delays justice for victims as well.
The grandparents of missing Limpopo toddler Umphile Sithole will have to convince the court that their release on bail would be in the interest of justice. Vinolia Mabuela and Jacob Ledwaba appeared briefly in the Mawareleng Magistrates Court in Mokopane yesterday. The case was postponed to next Monday, with the grandparents slapped with child neglect charges. Nkosikona Malingamnisi reports.
It's been 17 days since little Umphile Sithole was last seen. She disappeared from her home in Gamabuela on May 2nd. An unknown suspect allegedly entered the bedroom where she was sleeping through a window and abducted her. The state has now charged Umphile's grandmother, who was allegedly with her at the time, as well as her grandfather, with child neglect. Prosecutor Demakatso Tanyane says the child had allegedly not been properly cared for over a period of 4 months.
In respect of this matter, there is a separate case whereby it is reasonably believed that the complainant is kidnapped. So during the investigation of that case, it was discovered that there were elements of child neglect committed by both the accused as alleged.
Meanwhile, police have again urged anyone with credible information that could help bring Umphile home safely to come forward. Nkosikona Malingamnisi, Eyewitness News in Limpopo.
And the World Health Organization chief says the deadly hantavirus and Ebola outbreak are the latest crisis in dangerous and divisive times. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus was speaking at the opening of the WHO's annual decision-making assembly in Geneva yesterday. Ghebreyesus declared Ebola, which has hit parts of the Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda, an international health emergency over the weekend. Ghebreyesus says both the rare hantavirus and Ebola are the latest crisis in a troubled world.
From conflicts to economic crisis to climate change and aid cuts, we live in difficult and dangerous and divisive times.
Gold is trading at $4,535.56 an ounce. The rand is at 16.66 to the dollar, 22.33 to the pound, 19.38 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $109.99 a barrel.
In the traffic in Sandton, look out for faulty traffic lights at the M1 North and Grayston Drive, as well as in Edenvale at the N3 North and Moerfontein.
And in your sport, Arsenal beat Burnley 1-0 to keep the pressure on Manchester City, who must beat Bournemouth tonight. Brazil named Neymar in their World Cup squad, leaving João Pedro at home. Yamin Lamal will miss Spain's opener. And a big blow for the Lions ahead of the URC quarterfinal with Leinster. Box scrum half Morne van den Berg has returned home with a bicep injury.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng with isolated showers expected. Johannesburg starting at 10 degrees, peaking at 16. Pretoria 11 and 19. Vereeniging 7 and 20 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. Concerns are mounting over the whereabouts of a prosecutor who failed to pitch in court for a high-profile extortion case in Mpumalanga.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
We're calling on Joburg to walk the inner city with us. In 702 Josie My Josie, walk the talk. Babize bonke. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
702 on 92.7 and 106 FM.
Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
And on DSTV channel 856.
6 minutes past 6 o'clock. Good morning from me, Ray White. Good to be in your company this morning on this lovely Tuesday. Welcome to The Breakfast Show. Morning, Johannesburg, Swane, Soweto, New York, Beijing, wherever you are listening to us from. It's good to be in your company this morning. The entire breakfast team is here. I'm not alone. Khomotso's got your traffic in for Amo. Mateo, thank goodness you're back. That guy who was standing in for you, I don't know. He's so lost you.
Sounded great to me.
Nah, so relieved that you're back. Honest business news. Siamtanda, Babilila and Rofiwa producing your show. Cindy's got your sport, as you heard. KG always pushing your buttons. And Safiso's got your news. Lots to talk about this morning. Now let's stir a little bit because it is Tuesday, so let's stir for a Tuesday. I'm asking the question this morning. It's our shout out. How important is a diamond wedding ring? Is it important? Does it have to be a rock? Does it have to be big? Versus a normal ring versus maybe nothing as well. Depends on you. But does it need to be a diamond or an expensive ring? Should the price, here we go, should the price be equated to the love involved? Love to hear from you this morning.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
And the reason why I'm asking this morning is because Anglo is selling off De Beers. And there's a lovely article in the Business Day this morning, Mateo, talking about that. But the devil's in the detail, and it looks like a lot less or fewer people are getting married in the United States. And that's why the prices of diamonds have fallen quite a bit, and etc. And there are also synthetic diamonds too, these industrial diamonds. So, Mateo, I mean, I'm not going to get you into any trouble because you already are married and you've done that. But I mean, is a rock important?
Can I tell you, Ray, years before I got married, I was speaking to my then girlfriend and trying to explain to them that, look, diamonds, it's all about marketing. That's why they're so valuable. They really, really aren't that precious as they say. And she let me do the whole pitch, and right after that, she's like, but you're still getting me one, right?
Oh, yeah. It's right there, hey? It is right there.
So I guess it might not be important to me, but I value my life, Ray.
You know, it's interesting. I never forget, my wife had a friend, and her friend, they compared diamond rings. So this is what some women do. They went and had them evaluated. Okay, they do sometimes come with that certificate, but they had them evaluated. And well, mine came out shining and lovely, and I'd spent the money and all the rest of it. But the friend came back 800 Rand for the diamond. That was the evaluation.
What?
Yeah, and it caused such consternation. But my thing is, he loved her anyway. It doesn't matter.
Nari, it always matters.
Mateo's got the stunned look on his
No, I mean,
face.
that 800 Rand
Yeah.
just speaks to the case of De Beers, right? The rise of synthetic diamonds and how they also affected the diamond price overall. And that's why we're seeing De Beers also struggling a little bit in the market. So very, very interesting there. I'm hoping that the friend is still alive.
I wish you knew that guy and gave him that advice to tell her. I'm not quite sure. I haven't seen him for a very long time, actually. Khomotso is the rock. Is it?
Well, I mean, now that you're telling me about the decline in value, I'm not so sure. I was going to say absolutely it's important. One, for aesthetics. Two, so that if it doesn't work out, at least I can go and, pawn it at some pawn shop and then buy a Benz or something. Absolutely. Look at Mateo's.
Don't you give the ring back?
Absolutely not. No.
Told you we'd stir
So
this
not a
morning.
symbol of love or anything.
How dare you? I mean, that too and other things.
That too and other things. All right, so how important is the rock? What is your story this morning? 0727021702.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
So lots to talk about this morning. Just before 7, we've got our Black Sheep feature. It's our Black Sheep Thinking feature. It's asking this morning, do you trust GPS? And I love this thing because do you actually trust GPS? There's so many times that you put something into your car or into your phone and you get totally lost. So is it accurate? Which types do you use? We'll be talking about that one a little bit later on. Then after 7, returning to the story that Bongani was talking about yesterday, the SA Bureau of Standards. Now, the Bureau is not up to standard, excuse the pun, and faces collapse if the private sector does not step in by September. Bongani spoke to the DA yesterday about this, and it's a really, really bad story. They're saying they need this privatization by September. If not, they've got a big problem. I'll be chatting to the acting CEO about this. And you kind of think to yourself as well, come on, this is the latest state institution that's just not working. What on earth is going on there, Mateo?
I don't know, man. I don't want to sound like somebody who would be promoting a department that's not working. But I don't think we should be privatizing everything that is not working from the state. We should be fixing it, yes, not privatizing it all the time. Because if the people that determine standards in the country are privatized, they're going to charge a premium to set the standard. So I think it should be fixed. I don't think it should be actually privatized.
And there's a conflict of interest because the people being investigated can't go and privatize and buy into the organization. But why are things going wrong? That's the big question this morning. And then later on, talking MasterChef and paddle. Now, the big paddle tournament taking place in August. I'm looking forward to that. And of course, MasterChef as well. Apparently, a couple of radio voices, radio stars, were on MasterChef this last weekend. So lots to talk about this morning. 072 702 1702.
702. More than a radio station. Let's walk the talk.
Right, Mateo, what are you asking this morning?
Yeah, I want to know from you and the 702 landers, Ray, do you like competition? Is it something that fuels you in the workspace, socially? Or is it something that just stifles things for you? You don't really like to compete. It gets ugly.
I don't really care. I don't have time to compete with somebody else. I really don't. If they want to be better than me, you go right ahead. You go do you.
It's you against the man in the mirror.
Yes, yeah. And yourself?
Sometimes I do like to compete. If it's friendly fire, board games and whatever, but nothing too upsetting. Nothing too upsetting.
Also?
Same. I also like a good competition. Nothing toxic or deadly.
So, wow. I'll tell you why I'm asking.
Love it, love it, love it.
702.
Weather.
This weather report brought to you by Subaru. Wet roads, rough roads, roads you didn't expect. Subaru carries you through life's weather. And looking at your weather, partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng with some showers later on. Johannesburg starting at 10, going up to just 16. Pretoria 19, Vereeniging 20. Mbombela, good morning, Nelspruit 22 degrees. Mahikeng 21. Bloemfontein also 21. Durban is fine until mid-morning, otherwise partly cloudy with some isolated showers later on, a high of 23, Limburg 21, the same for East London, then a partly cloudy day expected for Cape Town today, along with the fresh to strong southeasterly, a low of 15, a high of 24 degrees.
The forecast says sunshine, but Mother Nature had other plans. Life changes, the weather turns, little voices in the back still hoping you'll say yes, and you do. Because beneath you, there's a different kind of certainty in every turn and every stretch of road ahead. You don't worry about the weather. Instead, you get to enjoy every moment and every memory. That's not just confidence, it's love. Subaru carries you through life's weather. Fall in love with Subaru's all-weather confidence. Book a test drive on subaru.co.za.
EWN Traffic.
It's 6:15, right? Khamoso, the roads, a quiet day this morning.
Good morning, Ray. Thank you. If you are in Germiston, traffic is starting to build up on the N3 North. This is from the Rand Airport interchange towards the Gelden Hayes. Over in Boysens, the M1 is also starting to experience those peak time delays as you get closer to the Crown interchange on the M1 North. Also look out for faulty traffic lights in Edenvale at the N3 North and Modderfontein, in Rand Park Ridge at the N1 North and Beyers-Naudé, as well as in the capital city in Monument Park at the R21 and Solomon Mahlangu Drive. I'll have more updates in just a bit.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. 702.
Add your voice.
Have your say.
Let's walk the talk.
Right, talking this morning about all sorts of things going on. And let's see the top 5 things you need to know. South African infectious disease expert Salim Abdul Karim is warning countries, including South Africa, to stay alert after a new Ebola outbreak in the DRC, which has already caused about 100 deaths and more than 390 suspected cases. The WHO has declared it an international emergency. And Dr. Pedros Ghebreyesus, he was speaking yesterday, and he said we need to be careful that it doesn't spread.
Currently, WHO is aware that 13 cases of Ebola have been confirmed by INRB in Kinshasa. Today, I have released $500,000 from WHO's contingency fund for emergencies to immediately support the response.
Then in Kenya, at least 4 people have been killed and more than 30 injured during protests linked to a nationwide transport strike over fuel prices. The Interior Ministry says 348 people have been arrested as roads in Nairobi were blocked, businesses shut and commuters stranded. Transport operators are demanding sharp price cuts after increases of more than 20%, deepening pressure on households already hit by rising living costs. The Royal Observatory in Greenwich is warning that over-reliance on AI tools that give instant answers could weaken human thinking by discouraging curiosity and deeper learning. It says AI should support, not replace, human reasoning, as experts caution that convenience must not come at the cost of critical thinking. Adam Gilchrist will have more on that in the World View. But that does come with a story that a California jury has ruled against Elon Musk in his lawsuit against Sam Altman and OpenAI, saying he filed too late for his claims to proceed. The court did not rule on the substance of his allegations, which focused on OpenAI's shift from non-profit to for-profit structure. Musk says he will appeal. How are you using AI, and how has it made a difference in your life? Do you use it for relationship advice and things like that? That's the interesting. Lots of people do that. They actually ask ChatGPT.
No, they do. You're right, Ray. I have someone that I know personally who does and relies on it very well. Whatever it is that you tell them, they go to AI to verify. In fact, I even have a nephew who goes to AI and says, Khomotso said this. What do you think, Chat?
Yeah. But like your AI stories as well this morning, you can add them onto those wedding ring stories. And then on this day in 1925, civil rights icon Malcolm X was born, later becoming a powerful voice for black empowerment and resistance.
702.
The newspapers.
Safisa Zulu. Good morning, Ray. How are you?
I'm good. What are you looking at this morning?
Well, you've already touched on it. The update on the story I did yesterday on Elon Musk. Their trial started yesterday, or supposed to start yesterday, in a case where Elon Musk took OpenAI to court. And so he took legal action against OpenAI's founders. And his argument was that the company's pivot to a profit-driven business betrayed its original non-profit mandate. But a federal jury yesterday ruled that Elon Musk waited too long to sue OpenAI and its co-founders. And OpenAI is basically, as you've mentioned, the company behind ChatGPT. So the jury found that Musk's claims against OpenAI CEO Sam Altman and its president, Greg Brockman, were barred by statutes of limitations, leaving Elon's arguments largely unaddressed. So yesterday's outcome spared OpenAI from a potentially existential legal threats.
That's huge. Right, the Sowetan this morning. Eskom's threat to unplug Josie. Power utility gives Johannesburg until the 8th of July to pay 5.2 billion rand debt or face switch off. And it says here, parties worry about impact on businesses and residents in the event of a blackout. This really is a concerning story. Look, we do have blackouts or power failures in Johannesburg very often, but nothing like that. Very, very, very concerning.
Front page of the Citizen this morning, huge blow for the NHI. The state's plans for national health insurance have been dealt a blow. So this was the Constitutional Court yesterday ruling that sections of the NHI or the National Health Insurance Act are unconstitutional. These define where healthcare professionals can work and where health facilities can open. Solidarity, which was involved in the matter, says it impinges on individual freedom. So this is a separate case to the Western Cape government's case in the Constitutional Court and the health insurance body that's also in the Constitutional Court. So this is about where the health professionals can work and cannot work.
Right, the business day this morning, and we're talking about it, Sophie. So De Beers sale now, biggest threat to Anglo overhaul. And what Anglo is doing, it's selling off a few of its assets. It wants to go into copper and call themselves Anglo Tech. They're doing this big amalgamation, you see. Now, De Beers, they want to sell it off. And De Beers goes back to the days of Cecil John Rhodes. So asking this morning, and Sophie, I'm asking you as well, is a diamond ring important when you're getting married? Do you have to get that big rock? You can say no comment. You really can, you know.
I think it is. I think it's very important. It shows that you care. It shows that you're serious about the marriage and the entire process. So if you get a huge diamond ring, that means you're very serious about the marriage.
Oh, really? You said that with such conviction this morning.
No, it does. It really does, because it's a statement. You have to make a statement, so it must stand out that this is a huge diamond ring.
Okay. Will I be your best man? Just asking, because there's something else going on there. What else do you have?
Page 3 of the Citizen this morning. The IEC has disputed claims made by the EFF leader, Julius Malema, about the 2024 national and provincial elections. So Malema appeared in the Frank Dialogue podcast on Friday when he accused the IEC of incorrectly compiling results from the voting stations in Limpopo where he cast his ballot. The IEC warned that such comments challenged the integrity of the elections and reminded prominent politicians not to make unsubstantiated claims. The EFF leader had earlier in the discussion accepted that questioning election results would place lives in his hands due to the potential consequences. And that podcast was hosted by JJ Tabane and featured several guests, as well as a question and answer session with various members of the media. And Malema told that gathering that the IEC had incorrectly entered the results from his voting station into the online database. And he explained that the EFF Deputy President Godric Gadi was given a copy of the results slip and queried the inputs with IEC officials before highlighting the alleged inaccuracy. But the IEC is denying all those allegations.
And those
are the newspapers.
Part of the 702 family.
My name is France Gate. I've been in Johannesburg since 2004, and I accidentally got onto 702 listening to John Robbie because I'm a mad sports fan, but I cannot believe the quality of broadcasting that 702 has played in my life. It's added so much value to my curious nature, and 702 ticks all my boxes.
Welcome to our 702 family. Let's walk the talk.
Hello, Joburg. The city of Johannesburg Executive Mayor, Councillor Dada Morero, invites you to tune in for the live broadcast of the 2026 State of the City Address on Wednesday, 20 May. The address themed Building a Foundation for the Future. Your city, our city, will be broadcast at 2 p.m. on the city's social media platforms. Mayor Morero will reflect on the city's progress and outline a way forward where investment in rebuilding infrastructure, reclaiming the inner city, and improving service delivery is prioritized.
Hey guys, this is Robert Marawa, HollywoodBet's brand ambassador. Playing responsibly is part of the winning strategy. Make smart choices and continue to score. If you or someone that you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling Toll-Free Counseling Line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. HollywoodBet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
That's Kefense, before she got naked. Kefense's premium went up twice last year, and she was more confused than when her ex said, "I need to find myself," and then found somebody else. So Kifense got naked. She got comprehensive car insurance and a way lower premium in seconds on the Naked app. Good for you, Kifense. Get a car and home insurance quote now at naked.insure and see how much you can save when you get naked. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP. Get naked.
This is how it works, team. We turn up, we plug in, we share space, or we close the door. We stay for the month, or we stay forever. It's flexible co-working done properly. Are you in? WeWork.co.za. Made for work, built for business.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
25 minutes past 6 o'clock. A few WhatsApps coming in. Tabile says, I want the rock. The rock is important. Gosh, Homotso. Okay, all right. Talking about wedding rings this morning. And this whole De Beers story sparked it all, where they are looking to sell off De Beers, that being Anglo-American. And, you know, this is the thing. I think marriage numbers are down, Mateo. I think that they really are.
Yeah, they are down. Stats to say, I've actually looked it up this morning as soon as Fiso said it matters and it shows that you care if you buy a big rock, which I don't believe. All that pressure, all that financial pressure is causing people not to get married. So South Africa recorded exactly 102,373 registered marriages and civil unions. This was in 2024. This marked a 2.6% decrease from the 105,000 recorded in 2023. It's even worse for customary marriages, which are also down just substantially in South Africa. And it's one of those things, down 25%, those customary marriages, by the way. Just the financial pressure of getting married, you know, the whole entire budget, the 2 weddings, traditional and white wedding, it all just comes together.
And Lobola, and you throw it all in together.
All of that. It's just one big cost. And I think in this economy, a lot of people are just saying, okay, we'll give it a wait.
Well, this is the thing, but if I went to my wife and said, okay, we're not going to get married. She's my wife now, but if we're not going to get married, let's rather get a fridge and a couch and a blah, 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 which equates to what you want for your ring. She would say...
No, Ray, don't ever do that.
Yeah, no, exactly, Ray. You're leaving, pick a window. That would be it. You see, that's half the problem. So 072-702-1702, is the rock important? We'd like to know.
EWN Business.
Right, Mateo, you're asking this morning, do you like competition? Does it fuel you or does it stifle things for you? It's such an interesting question. There are those who are continuously in competition with others.
And they thrive in it. Eh?
They do. They really enjoy it. Why are you asking?
Well, Ray, the sellers of pre-loved vehicles, We Buy Cars, has over the past few years enjoyed record earnings as under-pressure consumers looked for more affordable car deals. Now, last year, the business said it sold an average of 15 to 16,000 vehicles every month. So a business has been quite great for them, but it now says it's getting tight. It says a lot of South Africans are now going for new cars because they become more affordable. We Buy Cars reported slightly lower earnings as stronger competition from affordable Asian car brands and growing new vehicle sales put pressure on profits in the used car market. Earnings slipped by 1.6% to 500 million rand, while headline earnings per share fell by 1.7% during the reporting period. Now, despite the softer earnings, the company grew revenue to 14.2 billion rand and increased its dividend by 10%. The firm says the local new vehicle market grew strongly during 2025, helped by the rapid rise of competitively priced Asian brands. So they're not only bothering the traditional brands of VW, Merc, and BMW, it's also the used car market as well. So those Asian brands really forcing their way in to the SA car market. I think they have 16.8% in terms of market share in the South African car market. Now, to keep stock moving, We Buy Cars avoided some of those losses by cutting prices for consumers. In March 2026, it recorded a big record in terms of sales with 17,209 vehicles sold. So they're still willing to compete. even if
it's such an interesting
there is a lot
scenario.
of pressure coming through from the Asian brands, they're willing to cut prices and make sure that they still compete.
You see, that's the thing. Would you go and buy yourself a second-hand car or a brand new Chinese car, which has got all the bells and whistles? That's the question.
I like the options for consumers.
Yeah, love it, love it, love it. Right, how are the markets on the rand?
Fared well yesterday. The markets, Ray, the all share up 369 points. Industrials were a little flat, but banking stocks up close to 1%. Mining shares also all holding on to very marginal gains. We Buy Cars releasing those results yesterday. They were up 6.7%. Boxer up 2.5%, with Outsurance up 2%. The rand this morning down at 16 rand 65 against the US dollar, 19 rand 38 against the euro, and 22 rand 32 cents against the British pound. Price of gold $4,539 an ounce, or platinum is at $1,969. A Brent crude at $109 a barrel. More business after 7.
Thanks, Mateo. Brings the time to 6:30. Right, Sofiso, concerns once again about foot and mouth disease.
That's right, Ray. The outbreak continues to spread in Gauteng, with authorities now racing to contain the highly contagious livestock virus. Nearly 300 more cases have been recorded, despite an aggressive mass vaccination campaign that's already seen more than 257,000 animals inoculated. Agriculture MEC Vuyiswa Ramokgopa says the battle to curb the disease continues in the province.
We have a number of different vaccines that we are currently using. The Biogenesis Bago vaccine, the Dolvat vaccine. We have not actually received our shipment as yet from Botswana.
She admits limiting the movement of animals has not been effectively implemented.
One of the things I will say that has been a challenge and continues to be a challenge is movement control, and really restricting the movement of livestock in and out of the province, specifically livestock that is coming into the province for the purposes of sale or auction or otherwise. We have to do a bit more work with the relevant law enforcement officials.
The man accused of killing Marius van der Merwe claims he knows of a former police reservist who wanted van der Merwe dead. During his bail application in the Brakpan Magistrates Court yesterday, Matipandile Soteni claimed that it was Viandre Pretorius who wanted van der Merwe killed. Pretorius died by suicide in February, allegedly after being implicated in murder and disposing of a body. This emerged during van der Merwe's evidence at the Madlanga Commission. Alfara Mushwana reports.
Former police sniper Matipandile Soteni admitted in court yesterday that he knew witness D personally and described himself as his role model. Soteni, a skilled precision shooter who also worked for the Special Task Force, told the court that witness D wanted to become as good a shooter as him. He says they drove around Brakpan together a couple of times, and that after one of those drives, he learned that witness D had been killed on the same day. However, he claims he was not involved. Through his lawyer, Advocate Ntabiseng Muhumane, Soteni says all he knows is that Viandre Pretorius wanted witness D killed.
We drove around while talking about all his stories, asking me if I knew anyone who could help him with his problem. Viandre never specified the kind of help that he needed, but I could tell that he wanted Marius van der Merwe killed.
Soteni will return to court on Thursday for the continuation of his bail application. Alpha Ramshwana, Eyewitness News in Brakpan.
In the Western Cape High Court, the presiding judge in the trial of alleged underworld gang boss Nafees Modak says delays in the case cannot be blamed on his lawyer. Submissions were heard yesterday after Modak's defense last week requested another postponement to secure witnesses. Modak, who's on trial with 14 others, faces charges including the murder of top cop Charles Kinnear outside his Bishop Levy's home 6 years ago. Carlo Peterson reports.
Advocate Bash Sebda told the court he is struggling to secure new witnesses because his client has failed to provide names of potential witnesses in time. However, presiding judge Robert Henny warned Sebda to adhere to criminal trial procedure, saying the matter cannot be held up by Modak any longer.
I cannot indulge an accused person if he's not able, to the best of your endeavors, to proceed with his case.
Henny is expected to decide whether to close Modak's case on Wednesday. Carlo Peterson, Eyewitness News.
And in the U.S., 3 men have been shot dead at a mosque in San Diego, California, in a suspected hate crime. Police say 2 teenagers who later took their own lives were behind the attacks. The assault happened yesterday as officers were investigating a call about a possibly suicidal teen who had run away from home. Police were alerted to the shooting at the Islamic Center of San Diego and found 3 victims who had been shot in the front of the building. Shortly afterwards, they received another call that shots had been fired nearby. Officers found the suspects, aged 17 and 18, dead of self-inflicted wounds in a vehicle not far from the mosque. San Diego Police Chief Scott Wall.
We're asking how many total deceased. So we have our 2 suspects that are deceased. We have 3 victims at the Islamic Center. All 3 are adults, for a total of 5 people that are deceased related to this incident.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng with isolated showers expected. The temperatures are at lows of 7 and 10 degrees, peaking at highs between 16 and 19.
In Germiston, traffic is moving slowly on the N3 north from Rand Airport interchange towards the Geldenhuys. And over in Randburg, there's also slow-moving traffic on the N1 north from Beyers Naudé to Winnie Mandela Drive.
The top story this hour, the foot and mouth disease outbreak continues to spread in Gauteng.
702 Afternoons with Relebogile Mabodja.
702 Afternoons is about all things in life, from music to inspiration. We get an opportunity to explore science, mental health, food. I almost feel like there's nothing we don't do on my show. One of the things I absolutely love about 702 Land and the 702 family is that we are so sharing. We share tears, laughs, smiles. We share in the amazing times and celebrate together as well. We have a range of topics, but when it comes to what we do cover on the show, absolutely everything. My listener is somebody who wants to grow, evolve, develop. They're empathetic, they are loving, they are so special that even when they don't have, they come through and share, and more importantly, they know how to walk the talk.
702 Afternoons with Relebogile Mabodja. Weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m.
The 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk is calling on you to walk with the people, for the people, on Sunday the 26th of July. Babize Bonke. And this year you can choose from 3 different inner city routes. The 5-kilometer Victoria Yards route takes you from Ellis Park through the inspirational Joburg Cricket Club into Victoria Yards and past the Troyville Hotel. And then you finish off at Ellis Park. So whether you're taking on the 5-kilometer, 8 or 15-kilometer walk, enter now on primemediaplus.com and get ready for 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, hosted of course by the city of Joburg.
Let's hear from Shemaine, owner of Vovotello Linwood, why it pays to switch to Outsurance Business Insurance.
I wish we had switched sooner. Not only was it quick and easy, but also gave us more favorable premiums.
For restaurants, pharmacies, and all other businesses, get a quote today and see why it pays to switch to Outsurance Business Insurance. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 08600 60,000 today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
Chamberlain now has 10 branches throughout Gauteng, with 36,000 items in stock 98.5% of the time. Our available and knowledgeable staff are ready to help you. Big on stock, strong on service, built on values. Chamberlain, famous for hardware since 1903.
Coming up in your program in the next hour, it's What's the Question, brought to you by Outsurance. Up for grabs, 3,000 Rands in cash. All you need to do is send us an answer based on anything that has piqued your interest in the show, and you could win 1,000 Rand. Simply WhatsApp your name and that answer to 0727021702. And of course, a little bit later on, someone else will ask the question to win 2,000 Rands. Remember, you stand a better chance of being selected to give us today's answer if you have SMS out to Outsurance and got yourself a quote. So SMS out now to 45142 and you could save on your car insurance.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Hi, Uncle Ray and team. I use AI every day, most especially ChatGPT for almost everything. I don't really rely on it for answers, but I collaborate with it. So I don't say list things for me. Instead, let's say I want to write an article because I write a lot. I'll write article in there, GPT, and then tell it to refine my article. And then after that, I'll put it somewhere and then re-edit. Yeah. AI, it's making things easy. Collaborating with it works, Pascal, in Pretoria.
Thanks for your WhatsApp. And talking about exactly that, artificial intelligence, Adam Gilchrist has got a story coming up in the Worldview later on, saying that there are concerns that humanity will be dumbed down. In other words, you start using AI and you don't think for yourself. So the human brain will no longer develop. You'll have kids coming through school. I'd like to hear from you. What are you using AI for? What specifically are you using AI for? I've heard relationship advice, which methinks is a little bit dangerous. But what are you using it for in your daily work, or is it to create music? 072 7021 702.
Good morning, everybody. I don't think that why is it so valuable? It's just a rock. Why is it more valuable than a piece of quartz, for example? If I had to insist on a ring, I would probably ask about getting a sapphire or a ruby or an emerald. To me, they're far more beautiful.
Talking this morning about, Cindy, because I saw that look on your face, talking about diamond rings. Are they still important? When you get engaged, when you get married, is a diamond still that important? Because De Beers has been sold off, etc., etc.
I think a diamond is important to the girl who wants one, right?
Yes.
So I think if you're somebody who doesn't believe that a diamond is important, maybe that's fine. But I think it's the symbol that it stands for. I don't think it's the actual rock itself. I mean, a rose by any other name would be just as sweet, right? Isn't that what Shakespeare said?
Yeah.
So I think back in the day, people placed this value on this diamond, and we all know, I mean, they're probably not worth a lot because there's so many. It's just about the industry and stuff. But I think a diamond is important to somebody who's in a relationship, and I'm sure there are lots of ladies out there who've been waiting 10, 12 years for a promised diamond that's never coming. Ask them about the value of a diamond.
Well, you see, that's the thing. So if I gave, okay, well, you and I are dating, we both married, but if your husband gave you a diamond ring, but it was a Rubik's zirconia, and it cost, I don't know, $800,
I wouldn't know the difference.
would you care?
I wouldn't know the difference.
But would you care?
If you told me afterwards?
Yes. Would you go like, okay.
No, I wouldn't care.
Okay.
Because essentially, why do you care how much it costs? It's this is what I'm saying. It depends on who you are. It's the symbol of it. So for me, when we met, I don't want to say desperate to marry him because that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
I was excited.
Sure.
And I knew I was making the right decision. And I just wanted to be married. I actually didn't even care about the wedding day. So for me, the ring wasn't, I didn't need a huge rock and I didn't need a fancy shape and I didn't need... My husband will tell you, Ray, contrary to how I am on radio, I'm actually low maintenance.
I love the way you said that.
I know you're all the men in the car going, really? Because we've heard you go with Bongani for like years now, so your poor husband. But I'm actually, for me, it's more about just the symbol and the commitment of I promise to marry you and then getting married.
Right, 072 702 1702. Oh, my word.
Luckily, he's still sleeping.
Yeah, luckily he is. Does the price matter? Okay, let's just refine this. Does the price matter? Does it have to be a big rock or can it be something else and it looks just the same? Do let us know your thoughts this morning.
EWN Sport.
And coming up on 702, we'll look at how one breakthrough idea and unconventional thinking reshaped the world and delivered better outcomes in black sheep thinking. Powered by Camissa Asset Management. Invest different. Camissa Asset Management is a licensed FSP. Right, Cindy.
So I just want to add there though, but for men, sometimes it's important for them to be able to say that they could afford the diamond ring.
So
my husband takes great pride in being
in his ability at that age to give me a really nice diamond ring. And at the same time, it actually holds a lot of men back from proposing because they feel like the ring will never be perfect enough.
And if she says to you, and if she says, no, but it's fine, it's okay, it's not fine. It's never okay.
No, maybe it genuinely is. And if it genuinely is fine for her, marry that lady.
Okay. Advice, please. 0727.
Marry that lady. Right?
Oh, wow.
Right.
All right. Back to sport and back to Arsenal because they did well last night.
Arsenal finally be the brides, speaking of engagements, and not the bridesmaids, because they're one win away from Premier League glory after beating Burnley 1-0 last night with a Havertz goal in the first half. Arsenal stays 5 points ahead of Manchester City, who play Bournemouth tonight. If City lose, Arsenal will be crowned champions. Boss Mikel Arteta.
I knew it was going to be tough. I think in the first half we played some of the best football that we've played this season. We were very unfortunate not to score 2 or 3 goals. And then there was the story of the season as well. If we cannot do that, make sure that we are extremely efficient defending sets and moments, not giving anything away to the opponent and winning the 3 points.
Also tonight, a win for Tottenham Hotspur over Chelsea will see Spurs avoid relegation. If you missed it, Chelsea announcing the appointment of Xabi Alonso as manager from next season. Speaking of manager appointments, the huge rumours coming out of Manchester overnight. According to the BBC, City's preparing for manager Pep Guardiola to leave. Apparently, this Sunday's game against Aston Villa will end his 10-year tenure at the club. Yeah. It's reported that Enzo Maresca could take over. 3 weeks to go to the start of the FIFA World Cup. Lamine Yamal will miss Spain's opening game against Cape Verde on the 15th of June. He has a hamstring injury. Brazil's squad for the World Cup does not have João Pedro, while injury-riddled Neymar has been included for his 4th World Cup. In rugby, a big blow for the Lions ahead of the URC quarter-final with Leinster next weekend. Springbok scrum half Morne van den Berg has injured his bicep and returned home for treatment. The squad has stayed in Dublin. England head coach Steve Borthwick named South African Bernard Janse van Rensburg in his training squad. He'll only be eligible to play for England on July the 8th, conveniently 4 days after the Boks play England. And in the IPL, Deerwold Brevis made 44 from 27, but the Chennai Super Kings still lost to Sunrisers Hyderabad by 5 wickets. Klaasen on the winning side with his 47 from 26. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
The Brainy Kids of the Whiz Quiz
on 702.
Good morning, 702 Radio. My name is Dimakato. I go to Christian Progressive College. I'm 10 years old, and when I grow up, I'm hoping to be a teacher. And today, I want to play the Whiz Quiz with Uncle Ray.
Oh, Dimakatsu, I'm looking forward to playing with you as well. I'm looking at the questions. I'm sure you're going to get 10 out of 10. You'll get 10,000 Rand. Looking very forward to playing with you, Dimakatsu, this morning.
702.
Coming up at 7:15, the big interview.
EWN Traffic.
13 minutes to 7 o'clock. This EWN Traffic brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. Right, how are we looking at the moment? What's up?
Thank you, Ray. If you are leaving Centurion, you can expect slight delays on the N1 South. This is as you get closer to Olifantsfontein Road. Over in Pretoria, the R80 is also experiencing some peak time delays as you head towards Eskempatlele Drive. And in Germiston, those delays have increased on the N3 North as you head towards the Geldenes from the Rand Airport interchange. Also look out for faulty traffic lights that might be slowing down the flow of traffic. In Sandton at the M1 North and Grayston Drive. In Bramley at the M1 North and Collet, as well as in Four Ways at Winnie Mandela and Monte Casino. In the capital city, traffic lights are also out in Gasfontein at EC Smart Street and Gasfontein Road. And in Centurion at Old Johannesburg and Brakfontein. If you come across any other traffic, please do send us a WhatsApp voice note on 072-702-1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Things people stress about in traffic. Number 49. What's that random warning light that keeps popping up on my car's dashboard? Oh, the mystery. Well, with the Outsurance pointsmen on your route, at least the traffic is one less thing to stress about. The Outsurance pointsmen have been easing traffic congestion so we all get to where we need to be quickly and safely for the past 20 years. With Outsurance, you really always get something out. In partnership with 702, Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
Corporates That Care promotes and encourages corporate leaders and all citizens to walk the talk for a better South Africa. Catch Corporates That Care this Wednesday at 10 to 9 featuring RMB. Their head corporate client coverage, Nana Piri, will be in conversation with Bongani Bingwa. Join us every Wednesday as we highlight the efforts of companies and brands dedicated to building our country. Corporates That Care is a Prime Media Cares initiative with 702 and Prime Media Outdoor. 702. Let's walk the talk and make a difference together.
Something big is coming. You see, if you are tired of life never giving you a real chance, just know that your chance is coming. We've decided that if life isn't gonna give us bigger and better, then we're gonna give it to ourselves. We're also tired of the ones running this whole thing. Soon there'll be a takeover, a change, a chance. Like we said, something big is coming, and your chance to change your life is finally coming home with Sizekaya. Mzansi, a new chapter begins 1st of June 2026.
Running a small business means every rand counts. Thanks to My Way Business Insurance, I save up to 20% on my insurance premiums every month for my bakkies and tools of trade. Now, I get to save some extra cash for my business and focus on giving my clients world-class service.
Switch to My Way Business Insurance and save up to 20% on your bakkies and tools of trade. Real businesses, real savings. Call us on 0860 646464 for a quote today. My Way is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. Standard rates and T's and C's apply.
702. WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Morning, Ray. Good morning, the team. Oh, I heard you guys talking about diamonds. And this actually, popped in my mind. Diamonds. Diamonds are a girl's best friends. I wonder if diamonds are still, girls' best friends. Because, those ages ago, if you didn't have a big rock on your finger, you were not married. Interesting, eh?
Good morning, 702. For me, I've got a lot of my own rings. I'm a gay male. I buy my own rings, but not too feminine. It is about the quality more than the price, and about paying attention to what the partner shows you when you walk in the mall, all lovey-dovey, hair holding hands, and I point out something in Browns or at Arthur Kaplan or at Americans or whatsoever, and you remember it. I think that also counts into the price, and the value of it is that you actually paid attention to what I think I've already fitted on and what I might want to do if you think highly of me or if you love me. Thank you. Bye.
You see, now, so that's interesting, because do you propose with the ring and you choose the diamond for your partner, your now fiancé, or do you let her or him choose it? It's an interesting scenario.
It is, yeah, it is. It's a very interesting one. Depends on how romantic you want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, talking about the rock this morning. Does the rock matter? 072 702 1702.
Who is the whizziest of them all?
It's the Whiz Quiz on 702.
Right, 8 minutes to 7. Let's play the Whiz Quiz now. Good morning, Dimakatso.
Good morning, Uncle Ray.
How are you?
I'm fine, and how are you?
I'm good. So nice to be playing with you this morning. Now, you want to be a teacher one day. That's pretty cool, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. You go to the Christian Progressive College. What's your favorite subject at the moment?
Maths.
Ah, good. You're going to be a good teacher one day. We need more mathematicians. All right. Well, here's how it works. I'm going to ask you 10 questions. You've got 60 seconds to answer the 10 questions. For each question you get right, you get 100 Rand. If you get 10 out of 10, then you get 10,000 Rand, and you come to 702 to spend some time with us. How does that sound?
It sounds very cool.
It does, hey? It does. I'm looking forward to meeting you. All right, cool. So let's start. Are you ready to go?
Yes.
Excellent. KG, start the clock. Which is not the name of a playing card? A jack, a queen, or a bishop?
May you please repeat the question?
Which is not the name of a playing card? Is it a jack, a queen, or a bishop?
A jack.
Oh, it's a bishop. In maths, come on, in maths, what is 30 plus 25? 30 plus 25.
55.
Correct. True or false, the holes on the moon are known as craters.
True.
Correct. How many days does it take the Earth to orbit the sun?
250 days.
No, 365. True or false, the bat is the only mammal that can fly?
False.
That's true. Which gas do humans breathe in to survive? Is it oxygen or is it hydrogen?
Oxygen.
I'm going to give that to you. So there we go. You got yourself 3. So 300 Rand. How does that sound? 300 Rand.
It's fine.
I know. Don't worry. You can re-enter in a few months and I'm sure you'll get 10 out of 10. Dimakatso, have a great day at school today.
Thanks.
Okay, bye. There we go. Dimakatso, if you'd like to enter, you can. 072 702 1702.
The Brainy Kids of the Whiz Quiz.
On 702. Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Black Sheep Thinking is powered by Camissa Asset Management. Invest different, better for investors for over 20 years. Camissa Asset Management is a licensed FSP. Now, breakthrough ideas can look wrong at first. I love this feature. They challenge long-held assumptions and step away from consensus. They can test popular thinking. They can test conviction. But over time, they reshape the world and deliver better outcomes. That's the power of Black Sheep Thinking. For over 20 years, Camissa Asset Management has invested different, looking up and far ahead, thinking unconventionally and moving away from the herd. And that approach has delivered better outcomes for investors. Each week on 702 in Black Sheep Thinking, powered by Camissa Asset Management, we'll share the stories of people who chose a different path. And this week's story comes from the world of technology. And this is the interesting thing. We're talking about when GPS is wrong. Now, GPS on your phone, if you're a lot like me, you go on your phone and you think to yourself, if I go put in, I'm going to go to Sandton today, I'm going to go to visit Prime Media Broadcasting, I will get there via my GPS. Well, sometimes GPS is wrong, and we're taught to trust the system, GPS, instruments, data, because machines are supposed to be right. And we've been talking about AI this morning, but it's been found that in cockpits and control rooms around the world, they've experienced pilots have faced a different reality. The system says one thing, the world says another. And in those moments, the best don't follow the signal. They question it. And this is lessons from Black Sheep Thinking. Free thinking, but questioning the data. Now, some main points for you to consider this morning. When a successful business happens, don't always follow the GPS. Think out of the box. And very often, you get into your car and you think, I'm going to go off to watch the soccer at the FNB Stadium. But all of a sudden, you're driving off to Ekurhuleni. You think to yourself, well, hold on a second now. That doesn't work whatsoever. So think out the box. AI, we've been talking about that this morning, where people are thinking, I'm just going to type it in and I'm going to get relationship advice. I'm going to get business advice. Well, don't. Be careful. Be careful of that AI. Be careful of the GPS. So disasters are avoided when humans erode faulty systems. These are the findings by Camissa and also Black Sheep Thinking. Training rewritten to prioritize judgment over automation. A new rule emerged to verify, don't just follow. And that's the big thing and the big lesson from today. When the data and reality disagree, just look up. And very often you'll find yourself, whoa, hold on a second, I'm going wrong. Remember, if you missed, this is the best advice I've ever been given. If you missed that turn off on the highway, all right, turn back as soon as you possibly can. Don't keep going, because as long as you keep going, well, it's just going to cost you money. So look up, look around. That's the lesson from today. So sometimes progress begins with the courage and conviction to see things differently. That's Black Sheep Thinking. Listen again next week, Tuesday, for another story of unconventional thinking, powered, of course, by Camissa Asset Management on 702. In investment markets, herding happens. It leads to crowded optimism or pessimism. So prices are pushed up far too high or down. So at Camissa, they invest different. They find opportunity in these mispricings. They look up and far ahead, think unconventionally, embrace ambiguity, and have the courage to stand apart, and even when it's uncomfortable. That's black sheep thinking. For over 20 years, it's been better for investors. Camissa Asset Management invests different. Camissa Asset Management is a licensed FSP.
702. Coming up, the big interview.
So, coming up this morning is the SA Bureau of Standards, and they're in a dire way. And I know Bongani spoke about this yesterday. He spoke to the DA's shadow minister. And unless something happens by September this year, unless they're calling on the private sector to go in and help out the SA Bureau of Standards, they say it probably is going to collapse. And that's very worrying because we need them for our, to be a compass for us when it comes to standards in our country. But I'm afraid to say the SABS is below standards. So I'll be getting an explanation about what's been going on at the once proud SA Bureau of Standards. I'll be speaking to the CEO about this and finding out what are the solutions to get this once very proud organization back on track. It's just gone 7 o'clock.
This is EWN.
Where on earth is the prosecutor?
We have not been able to track him and speak to him to get to understand what really took place.
And the MK party gets rid of another senior member. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. The NPA says it has not been able to locate the prosecutor found in contempt of court in the extortion and money laundering case involving taxi bosses in Mpumalanga. The matter was yesterday struck off the roll in the Kwaggafontein Magistrates Court after Mkhuseli Ntaba failed to show up for the continuation of bail proceedings. Taxi bosses Jos Banyoni, Bafana Sindane and 2 others were facing charges related to extorting money from a businessman between 2022 and last year. A warrant of arrest against the prosecutor has been issued. Mongezi Gogo reports.
Chief Magistrate Tule Tutonjeni found the prosecutor in contempt of court and issued a warrant of arrest, while also indicating that the matter would be taken up with the office of the NDPP. The NPA has since confirmed that disciplinary action is being instituted against the prosecutor, who is suspended. However, the authority now says it has not been able to reach or locate him following yesterday's court drama. NPA Special Director of Public Prosecutions Mthunzi Mhaga.
We have not been able to track him and speak to him to get to understand what really took place. So as matters stand, we have an unprecedented incident.
The NPA maintains that the case can still be re-enrolled through the Director of Public Prosecutions in Mpumalanga. Mongezi Gogo, Eyewitness News, Kwaggafontein.
The MK party has removed Nhlamulo Ndlela as its national spokesperson. The party's Secretary General Sibonelo Nomvalo made the announcement last night following a meeting held by its national officials. Ndlela will be replaced by Sfiso Mahlangu. The party has not given reasons for the change. Nomvalo says Mahlangu has a big media background and the party trusts him to handle its communication affairs.
The national officials further take this opportunity to announce the immediate appointment of a new national spokesperson for Umkhonto weSizwe Party, who is an academic and former news editor, Comrade Sifiso Mahlangu. Comrade Sifiso Mahlangu is a highly experienced journalist and renowned media personality and brings invaluable technical and professional insight to the party.
The grandparents of missing Limpopo toddler Umphile Sithole will have to convince the court that their release on bail would be in the interest of justice. Vinolia Mabuela and Jacob Ledwaba appeared briefly in the Mahwereleng Magistrates Court in Mokopane yesterday. The case was postponed to next Monday, with the grandparents slapped with child neglect charges. Nkosikhona Malingamnisi reports.
It's been 17 days since little Umphile Sithole was last seen. She disappeared from her home in Gamabuela on May 2nd. An unknown suspect allegedly entered the bedroom where she was sleeping through a window and abducted her. The state has now charged Umphile's grandmother, who was allegedly with her at the time, as well as her grandfather, with child neglect. Prosecutor Demakatso Tanyane says the child had allegedly not been properly cared for over a period of 4 months.
In respect of this matter, there is a separate case whereby it is reasonably believed that the complainant is kidnapped. So during the investigation of that case, it was discovered that there were elements of child neglect committed by both the accused as alleged wishes.
Meanwhile, police have again urged anyone with credible information that could help bring Ompilo home safely to come forward. Or see Konamalingamnisi Eyewitness News in Limpopo.
And US President Donald Trump says he's held off on carrying out a major attack on Iran because of hopes of securing a so far elusive agreement to end the war with the country. Trump has indefinitely extended the truce and made clear he wants to exit a war that has proven to be a political liability. He says he had prepared a new attack for today after Iran refused his outlines of a deal. Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian recently said that speaking with Washington does not mean surrender and that Iran would defend its dignity and rights. The US president says he has instructed the military to be prepared to go forward with a full large-scale assault of Iran on a moment's notice in the event that an acceptable deal does not reach.
I was asked by Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, and some others if we could put it off for 2 or 3 days, a short period of time, because they think that they are getting very close to making a deal. And if we can do that where there's no nuclear weapon going into the hands of Iran, I think, and if they're satisfied, we will be probably satisfied also.
Gold is trading at $4,541.94 an ounce. The rand is at 16.65 to the dollar, 22.33 to the pound, 19.38 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $109.84 a barrel.
In the traffic, look out for faulty traffic lights in Midrand at Old Pretoria and Olifantsfontein, as well as at the N1 North in Olifantsfontein and in Kyalami at the R55 and Kenilworth.
And in your sport, Arsenal 1 win away from Premier League glory after last night's 1-0 win over Burnley. They'll be hoping Bournemouth upset City tonight. Brazil leaves João Pedro and Esteval out of the World Cup squad but include Neymar for a 4th time. British media reporting Pep Guardiola will leave Manchester City at the end of the season. And Lions scrum half Morne van den Berg returns home with a bicep injury.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng with isolated showers expected. Johannesburg is at a low of 10 degrees, peaking at 16. Pretoria 11 and 19. Vereeniging 7 and 20 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. The NPA says it has not been able to locate the prosecutor found in contempt of court in the extortion and money laundering case involving taxi bosses in Mpumalanga.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Joburg is more than just a city. It's an energy that connects us all.
That's what makes this one so special.
In 702, Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, hosted by the City of Johannesburg. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
702 on 92.7 and 106 FM.
Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
And on DSTV channel 856.
7 minutes past 7 o'clock, Ray in for Bongles this morning. This story is very, very, very concerning. The MPA says it has not been able to locate the prosecutor found in contempt of court in the extortion and money laundering case involving taxi bosses in Mpumalanga. It's the lead in Eyewitness News at the moment. The problem is, where is this prosecutor? There are so many things that come to mind. Number one, is he okay? I think that's the first thing that needs to be asked. Is he okay? Hasn't been hurt. Something hasn't happened to him. Somebody said earlier on, did he sleep in? Did he miss the court case? Well, no, they waited till 1 o'clock. He was supposed to be there by 9, but they waited till 1 o'clock. So there are so many questions surrounding this. You can speculate. We don't want to speculate, but you can speculate. Perhaps money exchanged hands. We don't know, but we do need to get answers. The complainant in this case, it's an extortion case, is complaining now that that person fears for his or her life. They're thinking, well, they're going to come for me now. So where is this public prosecutor? That's the question that needs to be answered. The police, I'm sure, are involved. I know that there was a warrant of arrest that was issued. I know that they're looking into that a little bit more closely. But it is really, really worrying that this happens. The case, of course, has been struck off the roll. It can be reinstated by the NPA. There is a way of doing this. But for now, this is where we find ourselves. So we're hoping that today that prosecutor will be found, and like I said earlier, will be found in good health, that there is an explanation for this. So that's, keep listening to Eyewitness News, and of course 702 will bring you the latest on this developing news story. Well, coming up in your program this morning, we return to our conversation on the SA Bureau of Standards. The once proud SABS has now set a deadline of September for the private sector to step in or face collapse. I'll be talking to the CEO, the acting CEO of the SABS, Thabo Sepuro, about this a little bit later on. Then our shout out this morning, we've been having some fun talking about wedding rings and does price matter when it comes to a wedding ring, and also talking about artificial intelligence and what do you use it for. Adam Gilchrist will have more on the worldview on that story, where he talks about humanity and there are concerns that we are being dumbed down. We won't be thinking for ourselves anymore because, of course, we've got AI. Keep those WhatsApps coming. 072 702 1702.
Why is the NPA so in a hurry to charge their prosecutor for not appearing in court without establishing what exactly happened? We're dealing with a taxi boss here. What if that guy is threatened or killed, or his family was threatened? Why don't they establish that? And why is the judge so quick to strike this thing off the roll? It was just a bail hearing. At least he could have said, "You know what, I'm giving them bail." That's it. But the case continues. There's something fishy about this judge and the decision that they've made. The MPA as well, I think it's found wanting here. You can't just be in a hurry to do that and tell us that it still can be brought back.
Remember, with a judge, it's a matter of law, and the judge has no choice. That person has to take that decision because it is a matter of law. But I do think you are asking really good questions this morning. Where is that public prosecutor?
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Right, other things you need to know about this morning. A Spanish court has ordered the tax authority to refund singer Shakira 55 million euros. That's about 1.15 billion rand. After ruling she was wrongfully taxed over her 2011 residency status. Now, the court found officials failed to prove she spent enough time in Spain to qualify as a tax resident, making the changes and penalties unlawful. So let's see what happens there. They say they are going to appeal against it, that being the tax authorities. Then in 1962, Marilyn Monroe famously sang Happy Birthday to US President John F. Kennedy, creating one of pop culture's most iconic moments.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday to you.
Yo, there you go. I'm here. Jackie Kennedy wasn't too impressed about that one, though. Then the Gauteng Department of Health says it's worried about rising hypertension cases, especially among people under 45, after more than 69,000 new cases were recorded in just a year. Officials warn that high blood pressure, the silent killer, often shows no symptoms and people need to get themselves checked out. Then US President Donald Trump says he has called off a planned military strike on Iran after requests from Gulf states, saying serious negotiations are now taking place. This is what he had to say.
Can you speak a little bit about your post on Truth Social on Iran and what was the decision that why you didn't attack Iran?
Well, other countries have come to me and they've said we were getting ready to do a very major attack tomorrow. I've put it off for a little while, hopefully maybe forever, but possibly for a little while, because we've had very big discussions with Iran, and we'll see what they amount to. I was asked by Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, and some others if we could put it off for 2 or 3 days, a short period of time, because they think that they are getting very close to making a deal. And if we can do that, where there's no nuclear weapon going into the hands of Iran, I think, and if they're satisfied, we will be probably satisfied also. We've informed Israel. We've informed other people in the Middle East that have been involved with us. And, it's a very positive development, but we'll see whether or not it amounts to anything. We've had periods of time where we thought pretty much getting close to making a deal, and it didn't work out, but this is a little bit different. Now, we're ready going tomorrow, very big, and not something I wanted to do, but we have no choice because we cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. Yeah.
Well, either way, this has to come to an end because it's causing havoc with economies around the world. Then in 1998, R&B stars Brandy and Monica recorded their hit duet, The Boy Is Mine, a song about rivalry, about love, that became one of the biggest R&B singles of the decade, topping charts and defining late 90s pop culture.
Excuse me, can I please talk to you for a minute? Sure, you look kind of familiar. Yeah, you do too. But I just wanted to know, do you know somebody named... You know his name? Oh yeah, definitely. I know his name. But I just want to let you know that he's mine. No, he's mine.
EWN Traffic.
It's 7:15. This EWN Traffic brought to you, of course, by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. A busy Tuesday morning?
Not so much, actually, Ray, but we'll start in the east of Johannesburg. If you are in Germiston, anticipate heavy delays on the N3 North from the Rand Airport interchange towards Gelden Hayes. Over in Boysens, brace yourself for those peak time delays on the M1 North towards the Crown interchange with about a 15-minute hold up there. And if you are coming from Johannesburg CBD, traffic is sluggish on the M2 West. This is as you get closer to the Crown interchange. The R80 continues to experience also some peak time delays. This is as you approach Eskiampahlele Drive. Also look out for faulty traffic lights in Woodmead and Woodlands, in Randburg at the N1 South and Malibongwe, as well as in Randburg at Bramfisher and Hunter Road. I have more updates in just a bit.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Outsurance can't improve your couch coaching skills, but they could improve the car insurance premium you currently pay. SMS out to 45142. Get a quote today, and if Outsurance can't save you money on your car insurance premium, ask for 500 Rand cash. Make that 1,500 Rand if you've been claim-free and with the same insurer for 3 years. Get a quote and get savings or cash. Either way, you win. SMS out to 45142. When it comes to car insurance, you couldn't be in better hands. Outsurance was voted News 24 Short-Term Insurer of the Year for 4 years in a row. Built Reader's Choice Best Insurer 4 years in a row. And City Press Reader's Choice Best Insurer Award 3 years in a row. Clearly, they all feel they're getting something out. SMS right now to see if you can switch and save. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Outsurance, licensed insurer and FSP. T's and C's online.
Hi, this is Teko Modise, Hollywood Bets brand ambassador. Be a winner who knows when it's time for a timeout and play responsibly. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling Toll-Free Counseling Line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bets supports responsible gambling. No person under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
If you're CEO or CFO looking to grow across Africa, then the next 60 seconds are for you. Because in that short time, one bank in Africa will process over 300 million Rand. That's 430 billion Rand every day. Right now, we have 17.7 trillion Rand of the continent's assets under custody management, making us far and away the largest bank by assets in Africa. which is why in 2025, we were voted Best Bank for Corporates in Africa at the Euro Money Awards for Excellence. So, if you're looking for a bank with scale, we're easy to find. We're in 21 key markets across Africa, and we've been on the continent for 163 years, so we are not going anywhere. Standard Bank Corporate and Investment Banking. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply. Did you know that you are entitled to buy a new, demo, or used car without a service or a maintenance plan? You can also use an independent workshop for all servicing and maintenance needs without your warranty being automatically voided. Independent workshops are entitled to all technical info and parts needed to work on your vehicle, so you can shop around for the best price and service. Right to Repair. It's your choice. Visit righttorepair.org.za.
Not every change feels like a choice. Some arrive as disruption. Shift Happens with Richard Sutton is a podcast about those moments where life moves first and you have to catch up. When certainty disappears, direction blurs, and everything familiar starts to shift. You'll hear stories from people who faced change, doubt, and pressure and found a way forward. Their stories give us confidence. Living vicariously through their experience gives us hope, and we learn from their journeys. Because what feels like an ending is often the beginning of something else. Shift Happens weekly on PrimeMediaPlus.com, the Prime Media Plus app, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Powered by First Light, therapeutics for the modern mind.
702.
The Big Interview.
It's 20 minutes past 7. Looking now at the deepening concerns surrounding the South African Bureau of Standards, an institution once regarded as the cornerstone of South Africa's industrial growth and economic rebuilding efforts. For decades, the SABS stood as a trusted guardian of quality, safety, credibility, helping get the standards that shaped manufacturing, protected consumers, and opened doors for South African products. But today, the questions remain about governance, leadership, finance. The list goes on and goes on. Bongani spoke to Toby Chance, MP and DA spokesperson on trade, industry, and competition yesterday. And Toby basically said if something doesn't happen right now, it's going to collapse totally. We thought we'd get some answers. On the line is Thabo Sepuro. He's the acting CEO of the SABS. CEO, hi, good morning. Welcome to 702.
Morning, Ray, and morning to the listeners of 702.
Right, the DA's Toby Chance says the SABS is dying a slow death. Is this true?
Not at all, Ray. We have, like all other organizations, one of the things that I think we must just upfront admit is that we have in the past faced a number of operational and institutional challenges. And over the years, we have recognized that this is a critical area of development, and we are working hard to ensure that we bring the organization to stability and operational.
But how did it get here, though? This is the question I have. How did it get here? I mean, it's been stated that if by September the private sector doesn't step in, there's going to be total collapse. How did this happen?
No, I think in the main, like I said, we have had operational and institutional challenges over the years. And in the quest to try and deal with those, one of the first things that we had to do was to firstly acknowledge that these are the challenges that as an organization we have had to deal with. The organization has developed a very robust 2030 strategy, which is aimed at in essentially ensuring that we get to a model where we would no longer be reliant on government funding. And this is the strategy that calls for modernization, financial sustainability, and operational improvement. And in the main, what we seek to do with the question that you've just asked about the private sector involvement, we are essentially not necessarily calling on private sector to take over subs. We are saying we are engaging with expertise in the area of strategy intervention. And this is just for them to come work with us to assist us to work on critical enablers that will ensure that we achieve the 2030 strategy.
All right, you got your 2030 strategy, but you might not make September. That's the concern. In 2018, the SABS was placed under administration. It came out of it in 2022. We've got this September deadline. What needs to happen from now? I mean, at the moment, we're in May.
No. The September deadline is not a deadline to save subs. It is essentially a deadline that we have given ourselves to ensure that the 2030 strategy, and we have really mapped out the pathways through the critical enablers. What are those enablers? Firstly, we are currently developing, or we are implementing what we call a digital transformation for the SABS to try and modernize the operations. The second one is financial sustainability, and the financial sustainability in the context of the strategy that we have is that about a third of our income comes from the fiscus. And the formulation that we have had was that we need to gear ourselves such that we limit or we reduce that third allocation so that we can be able, as the organization, depend fully on our income coming from our.
Come in there. Surely you've got to be able to walk before you run, because this is not what is happening. If you're in dire financial straits, you mean you can't say goodbye to government just yet. Without sugarcoating it and saying there's a 2030 strategy, etc., what's the bottom line here? What do you need?
Right. So what we need is a partner in the form of this expertise or experts in the consultants that you spoke to that will work with just to arrive at the critical pathways that would then enable us. Firstly, to then say, if we say we are implementing the digital transformation, does it essentially assist in ensuring that we modernize the entirety of the operation so that we do not necessarily implement it and only addressing parts of the issues? The second part is, if we want to modernize and ensure that this organization is put on a growth trajectory, have we really mapped our processes in a way that enable end-to-end service delivery without necessarily compromising our processes?
And what about finance? What about finance? Obviously, there have been allegations of gross mismanagement. I'm not saying under you. I'm just saying in the past there's been gross mismanagement. Those are the allegations. What are you doing about money? That's the bottom line to get your digitization working.
Correct. And in fact, on the finance side, one thing I can confirm to you, Ray, and listeners, is that the SABS is currently financially sustainable. We do not have financial crisis issues. What we are, and maybe the term financial sustainability is misunderstood. And I agree with you that before you walk, you must first crawl. So what we are talking about, and this can be for your listeners and yourselves, I think around August, when our 2025-26 financial statements are out, anybody, those are public documents, anybody would be free to peruse them, and they will demonstrate to you that this entity it does not have a financial crisis.
Okay. It does have a leadership crisis, and you have stepped into the fore, which has been great. But you are, as far as I know, you were the COO. The CEO needs to be appointed soon. Your term comes to an end in a month or two's time. What's the plan for a permanent CEO?
Great. No. You're quite right there. In fact, the organizational stability started a while back when the organization was taken out of administration. One thing to confirm is that there is a board that is fully responsible for governance oversight. And this board is the board that is currently engaged in the process to recruit the permanent CEO for the organization, and they are working together with the ministry to address that component.
All right, you'll have to wait and see what happens. Thabo Sepuro, thank you so much. Acting CEO of the SA Bureau of Standards. And it's a story that Bongani had on yesterday. We followed it up today. There is a plan here. There is a plan for action. I suppose it's going to have to be a bit of a wait and see. Let's see what happens next. But the SABS has always been the pinnacle in our country of standards. At the moment, it's just not that.
EWN Business.
Right, Mateo, famous brands, more restaurants. Look at them.
Yeah, it's because we keep eating out, right? A lot of people still eating fast food.
I know.
That's why they're doing so well. The owners of restaurants like Steers and Debonairs Pizza, famous brands, are posting growth for the year ending in February. The company says headline earnings per share, which is a profit measure in South Africa, up 12%. Revenue increasing to 8.7 billion rand, while operating profit also climbed by 4.5%. Famous Brands owns 15 well-known restaurant chains in South Africa, including the likes of Wimpy and Mug and Bean. The company says it's rewarding shareholders for this reporting period by 10.7% in terms of dividends. Now, during the financial year, Famous Brands opened 105 new restaurants, increasing its total footprint by 3%. So a business doing quite well. And of course, South Africans having the appetite for that fast food.
Absolutely right. So Trump says he's not going to attack, well, not yet anyway. How are the markets?
Yeah, they've reacted to that particular statement and every other statement Donald Trump seems to make these days. The postponement of a planned military strike on Iran following requests from key Middle Eastern leaders has led to the price of Brent crude going down slightly. The international benchmark Brent crude futures, this is for the July delivery, that fell by 2% to $109 a barrel, while the U.S. West Texas Intermediate price was down more than 1% at $107 a barrel. Still quite elevated, in fact, above that $100 mark, but at least a bit of calm in this turmoil. Looking at the local markets, the JSE was up slightly yesterday, with the rand a little lower this morning, 16 rand 64 against the US dollar, 19 rand 37 against the euro, and 22 rand 31 cents against the British pound. Price of gold is down 0.5% at $4,543 an ounce, while platinum is at $1,976. Brent crude now at $109 a barrel. More business after 8.
Sure, let's hope that comes down over the next day or two. The time is 7:31. So FISO, I see a big crackdown happening in the Joburg CBD.
That's right, Ray. Good morning. Illegal business structures are being targeted for demolition in the Joburg CBD in an operation led by Mayor Dada Morero. This morning's crackdown started at Marble Towers, one of the tallest buildings in the city, where there are several bylaw violations. The city's officials are conducting the high-impact service delivery operation on Small and Jeppe Street. Jabulile Mbata is there and joins us now live. Jabulile, what has been the response there from people who've set up shop?
So the manager of Marble Towers kept officials waiting long before opening the gates to the business arm. The first order of the day was the disconnection of electricity in the 32-story building. Officials from Joburg Water are now outside the building, removing illegal water connections. Mayor Dada Morero says they are here because the building has become a hub for illegal activity.
A lot of illegality. Erection first of illegal structures, trading without permits, being illegal and undocumented, and suddenly the building has also been turned into residential space when they don't have the necessary approvals of the rezoning. So there's a whole lot of illegality in this building.
So for now, the operation continues. Jabulile Mbata, Eyewitness News, reporting live from Joburg CBD.
The Gauteng Gambling Board will soon be placed under an administrator after some members resigned. Its CEO, Dr. Karabo Mbele, has been fired with immediate effect after being directly implicated in a forensic report that shows serious governance failures gross misconduct and interference in the funding adjudication process. CFO Oscar Maripane has also been suspended after alleged findings of procurement irregularities and failures in financial governance were made against him. Economic Development MEC Vuyiswa Ramokgopa says her office has received allegations from many whistleblowers.
The findings also point to broader institutional decay that, if left unchecked, would continue to erode public trust and compromise the integrity of this institution, wherein she failed to adequately address the allegations and provide sufficient evidence to the contrary. I have therefore acted on the recommendations of the report and terminated the employment of the CEO, Dr. Karabo Mbele, with immediate effect.
The prosecution in the murder case of former ANC Youth League Secretary General Sindiso Makaka has accused a suspect in the matter of deliberately delaying the case. Former Umzimkhulu Municipal Manager Stanley Skosana halted proceedings in KwaZulu-Natal yesterday for his new lawyer to engage the contents of the matter. But the state believes this was a delay tactic to enable him to apply for bail on new facts after he was denied bail in September last year. State Prosecutor Advocate Elvis Ngekwa.
Now the games are being played here by accused number 3, which is Mr. Skosana. It is Mr. Skosana now terminated the mandate of the Suprayan attorneys and employed Mr. Dlamini. Once we're done here, my lord, he's going to go back to Umzimkhulu Magistrate Court based on new facts.
Ngekwa says this has been Skosana's plan all along.
And I can tell the court now, he's going to say that the matter has been delayed. There are delays in the matter. That is the game he's trying to play before this court, my lord.
And in the U.S., 3 men have been shot dead at a mosque in San Diego, California, in a suspected hate crime. Police say 2 teenagers who later took their own lives were behind the attacks. The assaults happened yesterday as officers were investigating a call about a possibly suicidal teen who had run away from home. Police were alerted to the shooting at the Islamic Center of San Diego and found 3 victims who had been shot in front of the building. Shortly afterwards, they received another call that shots had been fired nearby. Officers found the suspects, aged 17 and 18, dead of self-inflicted wounds in a vehicle not far from the mosque. San Diego Police Chief Scott Wall.
We're asking how many total deceased? So we have our 2 suspects that are deceased. We have 3 victims at the Islamic Center. All 3 are adults, for a total of 5 people that are deceased related to this incident.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng, with showers expected. The temperatures are at lows of 7 and 10 degrees, peaking at highs between 16 and 19.
In the traffic in Midrand, there's been an accident on the N1 South causing heavy delays, and this is just after a new road, so please drive carefully.
The top story this hour: illegal business structures are being targeted for demolition in the Joburg CBD.
The Money Show with Stephen Grootes on 702.
My show is about your money, and it's about how people have made their money. But it's also about what happened to your money today, what happened on the JSE, what's happening overseas. All of these things, all about the way in which people make their money, spend their money, use their money, and in so many ways, use their money to make more money for them. What I absolutely love about the 702 family and 702 land is the huge warmth of people, the generosity that they show. But I also absolutely love the hustle. Anyone in business is actually trying to improve the economy. They're trying to have an impact on all of us. And there's a go-getting attitude to 702 land that you don't see in so many other places. That's what I really love about 702 land. That getting together and doing something new, and in the process, making money.
The Money Show with Stephen Grootes. Weekdays from 6 to 8 p.m.
Through incredible storytelling and legendary TV ads over the decades, Volkswagen has captured every beautiful memory, milestone and meaningful moment of South Africans' lives. And there's no doubt that everybody old enough remembers the iconic VW You and Me TV ad from the 1980s that culminated in all the people of VW coming together to form the massive VW logo in the middle of a big field. Well, to pay homage to this, Historic moment in South African culture. They've just released a brand new VW You and Me TV ad featuring all the VW workers and drivers. The new ad once again celebrates Volkswagen's rich culture and heritage spanning 75 years. And it also honors the real stories of everybody that's been a part of that journey, past and present. To see the latest VW You and Me TV ad for yourself, go to @702 on Facebook and drop a comment. Volkswagen You and Me, celebrating 75 years of the people's car.
Out there? Why would you want to go out there? People are out there. People with their phones on speaker are out there. Strangers are out there. And worse, people you know, but whose names you can't remember, are out there. Winter living is designed for staying in, especially with Decofurn's red-hot markdowns on our coziest furniture like armchairs and couches. Plus, you never have to go out there with loads of stock and speedy delivery now at decofurnsa.co.za.
That's Liesel, before she got naked. Liesel checked her insurance premium and got angrier than the time a teenager called her Tunny. So Liesel got naked and got comprehensive car insurance and a way lower premium in seconds, all on the Naked app. There we go, Liesel. Get a car and home insurance quote now at naked.insure and see how much you can save when you get naked. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP. Get naked.
702 Josie My Jersey Walk the Talk is calling on you to walk with the people, for the people, on Sunday the 26th of July. Babiza Bonke. And this year you can choose from 3 different inner city routes. It's the 8-kilometer 44 Main Street route, takes you from Ellis Park through Maboneng and Jules City, past the Field of Dreams and the Maharishi Invincibility Institute. Then you go through the Main Street precinct, Gandhi Square, and past the Colson Centre, finishing off at Ellis Park. So whether you're taking on the 8-kilometer, 5 or 15-kilometer, enter now on primemediaplus.com and get ready for the 702 Josie My Jersey Walk the Talk, hosted by the City of Joburg.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Morning, Ray. Listening to the CEO of the SABS, it's clear that they have some sort of strategy or a textbook strategy. He threw around lots of fancy words, but there's no substance to it, no execution being shown in what they're saying. And yeah, not sure how they're going to come out of this mess. I do fully agree with you. They may have a 2030 strategy, but what about a 2026 plan? Strategy with no execution is not anything. Yusuf from Johannesburg.
Hi, Ray and the team. With regard to the SABS, I think it lost its credibility on the market because some companies used the SABS sticker or badge as a marketing tool, which means that at the end, it lost its credibility on the market. Sometimes you find security companies with SABS sticker, and the question here is, what was approved, because this is a service industry. So, yeah, that's my view, Ray. It lost its credibility on the market. David and Parkwood.
Morning, Ray. I think with regards to the SABS, the issue is basically euphemistic use of the word challenges. Wherever there is a politically appointed management system, the rot seems to set in. The fact that they're reliant on government handouts is the first big problem because nobody really feels they have to work and work efficiently. Things are just falling apart in so many government-run or government-administered departments. Adrian.
What a way to avoid questions. How did we get here? Oh, there are challenges. We know there are challenges. And we've started to robust, blah, blah, blah. Same story for most of these organizations. Challenges, challenges, challenges. No accountability, no actual pinpointing of what the problem is.
You see, that's the thing. I hate that word challenges. I really do not like it because it's not challenges, it's failures. It's problems. And that's exactly what has happened here. The SABS used to be the pinnacle of everything. You you could buy something, and if it had that sticker on, you know it was tested, and it had sort of stood the test of time and all their tests as well. Now, will they come back? I don't know. Only time will tell, I suppose.
702.
What's the question?
What's the question? Brought to you by Outsurance. It's your chance to win up to 3,000 Rand in cash. First 1,000 Rand for the answer, and then a little later on 2,000 Rand if you can give us the question. SMS out to 451429 now, and you could save on car insurance. If you don't, ask Outsurance for 500 Rand. So let's get us an answer today. Hank in Meyerton. Hi, good morning, Hank.
Good morning, Ray.
Good. What is your answer then?
Today's answer is 1998.
Ooh, that's a nice one. That's a sneaky one. Very nice. Now, Hank, do you have a quote with Outsurance?
That's positive, Mr. Ray.
Oh, Mr. Hank, you got yourself 1,000 Rands in cash. Congratulations. Good to see you have Outsurance and 702. All right, there we go. 1998. That's the answer. What then is the question? If you are the 8th caller this morning, I could be giving you 2,000 Rand. 011 883 0702. Call us now, courtesy of Outsurance.
EWN Sport.
Well, there's one big story, and it's Arsenal. And I'm actually so happy for
is.
Arsenal fans. I really am, because, 22 years or
Don't,
something?
not yet.
I'm the guy that does it, right?
Yes, don't be like an Orlando Pirates fan. Don't have to put the champagne cork back in the bottle just yet. Let's just wait. But they did beat Burnley 1-0 last night, so they are excited. Havertz scored from a soccer corner as the Gunners stay 5 points ahead of Manchester City. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta says he's a Bournemouth fan tonight, because if City lose later, the Gunners will be crowned league champions.
We've done what is in our hands, and since the Man City game away, we said it is 5 games, and it was a hand. We've done 4. There is 1 to go, and let's something beautiful happens tonight.
The BBC reporting Pep Guardiola will leave Manchester City in Sunday's game against Aston Villa. This is his last. It's reported Enzo Maresca could take over. At the bottom of the table, a win for Tottenham Hotspur over Chelsea tonight guarantees Spurs stay in the top flight. Chelsea confirming on the weekend Xabi Alonso will be their manager from next season. FIFA World Cup starts in 3 weeks. Spain won't have Lamine Yamal for their opening game against Cape Verde on the 15th. He has a hamstring injury. Brazil's squad includes injury-riddled Neymar for a 4th time, but no space for Chelsea, João Pedro and Esteval. The Lions have stayed in Dublin for next week's United Rugby Championship quarter-final with Leinster, but Springbok scrum half Morné van den Berg has returned home for treatment on an injured bicep. England head coach Steve Borthwick naming South African Bernard Janse van Rensburg in his training squad. The 29-year-old will only be eligible to play for England 4 days after they face the Springboks at Ellis Park in the inaugural Nations Cup. That's July 4th. And in IPL cricket, Heinrich Klaasen making 47 in the Sunrisers Hyderabad's 5-wicket win over Chennai Super Kings. Dewald Brevis on the losing side with a 44 from 27. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
We're calling on Joburg to walk the inner city with us. In 702 Josie My Josie, walk the talk. Babize bonke. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
Let's hear from Dr. Armand, owner of Monument Dental, why it pays to switch to Outsurance Business Insurance.
It was one call and I was covered immediately. We are very happy with the premium we're paying. I wish I did it sooner.
For dentistries, general medical practices, and all other businesses, get a quote today and see why it pays to switch to Outsurance Business Insurance. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 08600 60,000 today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
Corporates That Care promotes and encourages corporate leaders and all citizens to walk the talk for a better South Africa. Catch Corporates That Care, that's this Wednesday at 10 to 9, featuring RMB this week. Their head corporate client coverage, Nana Piri, will be in conversation with Bongani Bingwa. Join us every Wednesday as we highlight the efforts of companies and brands dedicated to building our country. Corporates That Care is a Prime Media Cares initiative with 702 and Prime Media Outdoor. 702, let's walk the talk and make a difference together.
Bar Black Sheep. Have you any wool? Yes, sir. More than 3 bags full. We think beyond today, tomorrow, more. Look up, look far ahead. We may choose to leave the herd. There's greener grass where fewer care to tread. Bar Black Sheep. Proof of what we do. Better for clients for over 20 years. Courage, we hold the course for you. Bar Black Sheep. If you want more wool, it takes Black Sheep thinking. Camissa Asset Management. Invest different. Camissa Asset Management is a licensed FSP.
EWN Traffic.
It's almost 12 minutes to 8 o'clock. This EWN Traffic brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance if you don't ask them for 500 Rand. Right, Gamotso, Midrand on the N1 South. There's problems there. What's going on?
Yes, thank you, Ray. If you are coming from Midrand, there's been an accident on the N1 South just after New Road. It is on the right lane and it's causing heavy delays from Nelmepius Drive, so just a little bit of patience there if you can. Meanwhile, the M1 North is experiencing some slight delays from the Crown interchange to the Killarney Bains. And over on the other side, if you're coming from Johannesburg CBD, there's also some slow-moving traffic. This is on the M2 West as you get closer to the Crown interchange. Over in Randburg, traffic is also at a crawl. This is on the N1 North between Beyers Nodia and Winnie Mandela Drive. And lastly, in Germiston, you can still anticipate those heavy delays on the N3 North as you get closer to the Geldenhuys interchange. I'll have more updates at the top of the hour.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
The Outsurance pointsmen can't help you choose the right outfit, but they can help you get to the dinner on time. Seeing them on your route just makes you feel better. The Outsurance pointsmen have been easing traffic congestion so everyone gets to where they need to be quickly and safely for the past 20 years. With Outsurance, you really always get something out. In proud partnership with 702, show them some love online using hashtag PointsmanLove, a licensed insurer and FSP.
Brush, stroke, paint, color, protect, and admire. From roof paint to exterior textures and interior silk, Warrior Paints has it all. The product range and stylish colors are amazing. And what's more, Warrior Paints has crushed prices for incredible savings. Enjoy that good old-fashioned personal service you deserve. For price, quality, variety, and service, Warrior Paints is street ahead. Warrior Paints, affordable, lasting, luxury.
Mavis, I wonder if I should sell my car. I'm not sure where to go.
Wanna sell your car, but don't know what to do. You don't have to go far, we come to you. If you're rolling under 1.5 or a Lekker 2.2, doesn't matter what you drive, we buy cars once you.
We Buy Cars, the easiest way to sell your car by far.
It's another girl.
Families multiply, fees shouldn't. With Ultimate Banking, you get support for every chapter. Get discounted banking for your spouse and give each of your children a head start with a Mega U account. Because as your family grows, your banking should keep up. Apply online. Your story matters. ABSA. Terms and conditions apply. ABSA is an authorized financial services provider.
702.
What's the question?
Well, it's a question brought to you by Outsurance. It's your chance now to win 2,000 rands in cash. If you have the question for us, SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance if you don't ask Outsurance for 500 rands in cash. Right now, Hank said the answer was 1998. What then is the question? I said we would take the 8th caller. So there we go. Let's be fair. KG 5678. Loyiso, how are you this morning? If I said to you the answer is 1998, what then is the question? Loyiso, are you with us this morning? Are you there? I want to give you 2,000 rand, Loyiso. Oh, I'm sorry, I'll have to bomb you. Okay, right, so let's see over here. Let's go to Jeanette Nell. Hi, Jeanette. If I said
Hi,
to you,
Ray.
hello, if I said to you 1998, that's the answer. What's the question?
When was the hit R&B song The Boy Is Mine released?
Oh, you're a fan, aren't you? You got 2,000 rands in cash.
Oh.
Because it says you're on the monitor that you are a member of Outsurance, so I think
Yes.
you're absolutely fantastic. Jeanette, well done. 2,000 rands on its way to Jeanette Nell. Then in 1998, R&B stars Brandy and Monica recorded their hit duet, The Boy Is Mine.
Excuse me, can I please talk to you for a minute? Sure, you look kind of familiar. Yeah, you do too. But I just wanted to know, do you know somebody named, you know his name, Oh, yeah, definitely. I know his name. But I just want to let you know that he's mine. No, he's mine.
Gosh, where have the years gone? R&B stars Brandy and Monica recorded their hit duet, The Boy Is Mine. Well done to Jeanette, getting 2,000 rands in cash courtesy of Outsurance and 702.
Outsurance can't improve your karaoke skills, but they could improve the car insurance premium you currently pay. SMS out to 45142. Get a quote today, and if Outsurance can't save you money on your car insurance premium, ask for 500 Rand cash. Make that 1,500 Rand if you've been claim-free and with the same insurer for 3 years. Get a quote and get savings or cash. Either way, you win. SMS out to 45142. Want all the bells and whistles of car insurance at a great price? It's time to switch to Outsurance. Not only could they save you some big bucks, you also get that legendary out bonus that pays you a percentage of your premiums back if you're claim-free. So, are you ready to switch and save? Don't miss out. SMS right now to make sure you always get something out. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Outsurance. Licensed insurer and FSP. T's and C's online.
Managing your workforce shouldn't be complicated. That's why businesses choose Onacy, a proudly South African cloud-based payroll and HR solution. From payroll and e-recruitment to performance management and self-service tools, we streamline the way businesses handle their people. Scalable, secure, and always online, our system evolves with your needs because your workforce deserves the best. Switch to Onacy and experience payroll and HR done right. Visit onacy.com today.
We're calling on Joburg to walk the inner city with us. In 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. Babize bonke. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
That's Sia before he got naked. Sia had a bumper bash and had to reattach his fender using duct tape and a prayer. So Sia got naked. He got comprehensive car insurance in seconds and can now submit claims instantly on the Naked app. No more arts and crafts for you, Sia. Cover your car and home now at naked.insure and see how easy insurance can be when you get naked. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP. Get naked.
Many of us take taking a deep breath for granted. But for some infants with RSV, every breath is a battle. Respiratory syncytial virus is a contagious virus that can lead to serious illnesses, including lung infections. Fortunately, protection for infants against RSV is now available in South Africa. Ask your healthcare provider about keeping your baby protected during their first RSV season.
702
702. What's gone viral?
with Kabazela.
4 minutes to 8 o'clock. Kabazela, good morning.
Good morning, Ray and Philip. Are you well?
I'm good, but I'm worried about this first story that you've got here. Brakes. What's that all about?
Yeah, I mean, geez, this poor dad, I feel sorry for him. So he decided to take his two boys, young boys, out on a cycling track, which was demarcated friendly for children to ride their mountain bikes on. So the one kid is in the front, he's in the middle, and the other one is at the back. And they're going down this steep decline off-road, right? And the one kid in front falls and has a little bit of an accident. So the dad gets off his bike and tends to the one kid. But then the other one is behind him and he's now, coming down fast. And because the father is paying attention to the one that's already fallen, the other one goes speeding past him. And the dad, he didn't reach out and try and grab him, but this kid just went past the father and ended up going over this little ledge and ended up having a little accident. Luckily, nothing happened, no broken bones or anything like that. But you can just imagine this dad, how terrible he must have felt, because he posted afterwards, and he's like, he doesn't know why he didn't reach out and grab the second child, because he was just so focused on the first child that had fallen. So let's take a listen to the audio of the dad screaming brakes for the little one who ran past him.
Brakes, Link, brakes. Brakes, Link, brakes. Brakes, Link, brakes. Brakes, Link, and brakes!
Oh, shame.
The kid.
Terror. Absolute terror.
Shame, but on a follow-up video, he actually took them back to the area, and he explained to them and what happened and where the kid fell. So I thought it was quite good parenting of what he did afterwards. And funnily enough, whilst they were doing some X-rays, they found a mass in one of the little boy's brain, which is benign, luckily, nothing hectic. Okay. But, if it wasn't for that fall, they wouldn't have found that. But yeah, that was just a side story of what happened there. But, I think part of your growing up as a kid are bumps, scratches, broken bones, and whatever it may be. And I don't know so much today if children are, in the wars as much as, so many years ago. Due to technology and all that kind of stuff, and not playing outside as much. But I wanted to take our 702 family back to their childhood. And can you remember the first major injury you received as a child? What happened? What were you doing? Were you riding a bicycle? Were you climbing walls, trees, and you fell out the tree? I'd love to hear that this morning. I remember I was at my aunt's neighbor's house, and there was a whole bunch of bricks in the backyard, and I decided to climb up the bricks. Oh, and all the bricks came tumbling down and hit me on the head. And I still have this vivid memory of my mother holding me and rushed me to the bathroom. And I looked up into the bathroom mirror, and I just saw my face full of blood, from obviously a head injury. So that's mine. What's yours?
072 702 1702. So much to talk to you about this morning, 702 Land. What happened to you? When was your first time that you fell off your bike? You broke your arm, you fell out of a tree. What happened to you? We'd like to know. Just gone 8 o'clock.
This is EWN.
Traders dodge authorities in the Joburg CBD, and police say they have a tight case against Mpumalanga taxi bosses after they were set free. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. Some traders have fled from City of Joburg officials during an operation to demolish illegal structures in the city centre. Mayor Dada Morero is leading a crackdown this morning targeting the Marble Towers building. Morero says they want to get rid of illegal activities.
A lot of illegality. Erection first of illegal structures, trading without permits, being illegal and undocumented. And suddenly the building has also been turned into residential space when they don't have the necessary approvals of the rezoning. So there's a whole lot of illegality in this building.
We cross now live to Jabulile Mbata in the CBD. Jabulile, what have the officials discovered there this morning? Jabulile Mbata? Well, we seem to have lost our connection to Jabulile, who's tracking down the story in the CBD. But many people have fled from the authorities this morning from Marble Towers during the targeting of illegal structures. We'll have more on this developing story in our next bulletins. Mpumalanga police are adamant they still have a strong case against 4 men linked to a high-profile extortion and money laundering case, despite the matter being struck off the roll. The Kwaggafontein Magistrates Court removed the matter after the prosecutor failed to pitch for proceedings yesterday, resulting in a warrant of arrest against him. The case involves taxi bosses Jose Banyoni, Bafana Sindane and 2 others who were each facing 1 count of extortion and 2 counts of money laundering. Mongezi Gogo reports.
The 4 men were arrested during a police operation last week following allegations by a Mpumalanga businessman who claims he was forced to pay 2 million rand over 3 years. Yesterday's court drama plunged the court into uncertainty after the prosecutor failed to pitch for the formal bail application, with the chief magistrate finding him in contempt of court. However, Mpumalanga police say their organized crime unit still has a solid case against the accused, adding that the evidence gathered during the investigation remains intact. Mpumalanga police spokesperson Mavela Masondo.
Strong evidence against the suspects with regard to the matter remains intact.
Police have also dismissed reports claiming investigating officers were absent from court, saying the team arrived before proceedings got underway. Mongi Ziko Ko, Eyewitness News.
We go back to our top story this morning, where traders have fled from City of Joburg officials during an operation to demolish illegal structures. We cross now live to Jabulile Mbata in the CBD. Jabulile, what have officials discovered there this morning?
So many of the people who work and sell from Marble Towers have run away from the police, who stormed the building, conducting disconnection operations. Some were seen closing roller doors and leaving the building. So Mayor Tate Morero says the Marble Tower building owes the city 14 million rand. Morero is joined by JMPD and SAPS officers, Home Affairs and municipal authorities. The manager of the building spoke to the mayor, acknowledging the debt, and says he has been working on a payment plan.
And we have now discovered that the building is also owing the municipality to a tune of about 14 million, which includes water rates and electricity. And therefore we are cutting off water, we are cutting off electricity, so that they can go and pay the account.
So the mayor says they will be moving to other buildings with similar issues. Jabulile Mbata, Eyewitness News, reporting live from Joburg CBD.
The Palm Ridge Magistrates Court is set to deliver judgment in the case of a man accused of setting the Usindiso building in Marshalltown on fire. Sembiso Mdlalose admitted in 2024 to starting the blaze that killed 76 people in the Johannesburg CBD in 2023. He initially claimed he started the fire on the ground floor of the 5-story hijacked building while trying to burn the body of a man he had allegedly killed. But during the trial, Mdlalose changed his story, telling the court that he was under the influence of drugs when he made his confession. Alfred Mushwana reports.
Sembiso Mdlalose confessed twice to starting the fire that claimed 76 people. The first confession was made before the Commission of Inquiry established to investigate the blaze, while the second was made to a magistrate. But during his trial, Mdlalose claimed he was under the influence and was also forced by a Tanzanian drug lord to make what he now says was a false confession. Mdlalose then altered his story again, telling the court that he took the blame for the fire because he was homeless and wanted shelter, food and access to education in prison.
Now the truth is, I made this illusion so that I can get arrested because I wanted to run away and escape being on the street, being shelterless. I thought prison would give me a second chance. As I've seen people going into prison, they come back, they've got education, they've got degrees. So that's one thing that I had on my mind.
When the state questioned him during cross-examination over his ever-changing story, Mdlalose stormed out of the courtroom and returned to the holding cell. Alpha Ramshwana, Eyewitness News.
And US President Donald Trump says he's held off on carrying out a major attack on Iran because of hopes of securing a so far elusive agreement to end his war with the country. Trump has indefinitely extended the truce and made clear he wants to exit a war that has proven to be a political liability. He says he had prepared a new attack for today after Iran refused his outlines of a deal. Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian recently said that speaking with Washington does not mean surrender and that Iran would defend its dignity and rights. The US president says he has instructed the military to be prepared to go forward with a full large-scale assault of Iran on a moment's notice in the event that an acceptable deal is not reached.
I was asked by Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE and some others if we could put it off for 2 or 3 days, a short period of time, because they think that they are getting very close to making a deal. And if we can do that where there's no nuclear weapon going into the hands of Iran, I think, and if they're satisfied, we will be probably satisfied also.
Gold is trading at $4,541.94 an ounce. The rand is at 16.65 to the dollar, 22.33 to the pound, 19.38 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $109.84 a barrel.
Look out for 40 traffic lights in Parktown, Jan Smarts and Empire, as well as in Polshof at Witkopen and Rivonia Road.
And in your sport, Arsenal 1 win away from Premier League glory after last night's 1-0 win over Burnley. They'll be hoping Bournemouth upset City tonight. Brazil leaves João Pedro and Esteval out of the World Cup squad but include Neymar for a fourth time. British media reporting Pep Guardiola will leave Manchester City at the end of the season. And Lions scrum half Morne Vandenberg returns home with a bicep injury.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng with isolated showers expected. The temperatures will peak at highs between 16 and 19 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. Traders have fled from City of Joburg officials during an operation to demolish illegal structures.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
On Sunday, 26 July, 7:02 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk unites us all in the iconic Joburg CBD. 7:02 Walk the Talk. Babize bonke. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
702 on 92.7 and 106 FM.
Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
And on DSTV channel 856.
It's 9 minutes past 8 o'clock. Good morning from me, Ray, in for Bongani this morning. Good to be in your company. Wow, so much going on at the moment. Of course, the big story now in Eyewitness News, illegal business structures being targeted for demolition in the city of Johannesburg. Well, this should have happened a long time ago. Really should have, a long time ago, because we've had this problem in the general CBD of crime, of squalor, and it's happening today. So let's not knock it, but that should have happened a lot earlier. The other big story, the National Prosecuting Authority has suspended a senior prosecutor, Nkusedi Ntaba, and launched disciplinary proceedings after he was found in contempt of court for failing to appear at the Kwaggafontein Magistrates Court. His absence led to the extortion and money laundering case against taxi boss Josie Bongani and his co-accused being struck from the role. Many WhatsApps coming in this morning and saying, hold on a second now, there's something more to the story. And I said before, where is this prosecutor? Is he okay? In other words, his safety. Is he okay? Is he all right? He hasn't been hurt. If not, where is he? What's his explanation? Well, the MPA is saying that they're not going to give up on this case, that they're looking at reinstating it, but also questions about why it was struck from the role. Let's take a listen. This is the NPA's Mthunzi Maga.
This is unprecedented. NPA was established on 1 August 1998. And it has never happened in the history of the prosecution that a prosecutor does not arrive in court with no explanation up to now, and he is convicted of contempt of court. A warrant of arrest is authorized against him, now is sought after by law enforcement, resulting in a case that involves extortion and money laundering, which are serious offenses to be struck off the roll. In circumstances where once you invoke Section 342 capital A of the Criminal Procedure Act, it can only be re-enrolled or reinstated upon written authorization by the Director of Public Prosecutions in the division under whose jurisdiction the matter falls. It is on that basis that in the absence of any explanation up to now, the National Director had an engagement with the Director of Public Prosecutors in Mpumalanga and Labor Relations Unit, and a decision was taken to suspend the prosecutor and to institute disciplinary action against him.
Well, let's see what happens here. It is unprecedented, and Mthunzi Maga is right. But the bottom line is there was a criminal complaint here. It hasn't been heard because the public prosecutor is missing. So many questions about that. Also, the past hour, I chatted to the acting SABS, that's the South African Bureau of Standards CEO, Thabo Sepuro, about the state of the organization. Now, the SABS is substandard, I'm afraid to say, at the moment, and the private sector has been called in to help with their expertise. What are your thoughts on that one? And then our shout out this morning: how important is a diamond wedding ring to you versus a normal ring versus no ring? Does it need to be a diamond or an expensive ring? And the reason why we're actually talking about this morning is because De Beers, an Anglo-American, they are selling off certain assets. They've started with their steel-making assets in Australia. Now they're looking at De Beers. We go back to the days of Cecil John Rhodes and the De Beers farm, and that's where they got the name from. And they got the land. The farm was the De Beers family, you see. So we're asking the question this morning: do you need to get that big diamond if you're getting married? You're asking all the Women's 702 listeners this morning. Let's take a few calls. Chris in Roodepoort. Hi, Chris.
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
Good, good. Now, talking about De Beers, I've always found De Beers to be quite fascinating.
Yeah, look, a lot of the history, De Beers in the 20th century basically controlled 90% of the global rough diamond supply, right? And how do you control prices? By making things rare, or making the perceived, making it perceived that diamonds were rare. In actual fact, what they were doing is they were controlling the market by 90%, stockpiling those, and only releasing diamonds as and when the demand increased. And obviously, they made a huge amount of money out of it. Now, in terms of the diamond ring, obviously that was invented long ago, but the demand for it actually started in 1947 when they created a campaign. You'll remember the slogan, "A diamond is forever."
Yes.
So in 1947, they hired a guy called Francis Geretti, I think that's how you pronounce his name, to put through a number of adverts in magazines in the UK and obviously in the States, and made it a big campaign to get people to buy more and more diamonds. And obviously, as that demand increased, so the prices increased. They even did that in the 60s in Japan, where, obviously they focused around the Western culture of a diamond wedding ring. And that's how the demand increased in Japan back in the 60s and the 70s. So the thing is, it's all diamonds aren't that rare. It's only it's a symbol. You can put a piece of glass on a person's finger. It's what you feel in your heart for that person. It's not about the amount of money you spend on that person, because that's just, somebody wanting this huge 5-6 carat diamond ring, you've got to question, what it is they actually want from you. Is it the diamond ring and your money, or is it your love?
Yeah. Do you want me, or do you want the ring, Chris? Thank you. You're quite right, Chris, in what you're saying. But I still go back to my original thing. If you do give somebody a ring and it's not the real thing, are they going to walk around and go, sure, look what Mateo gave me? Colin in Centurion, hi.
Hi, Mr. Ray. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
Good. You know what? I really tend to agree with what Chris is saying, because it's all about the perceptions that we have created. If you look at it, it's about marketing. Young girls are geared to watch these movies, beautiful movies about, it's not only about the ring, Mr. Ray.
Yeah.
It's the entire concept of the wedding. For example, the ring is just part of one component of the bigger illusion that we've been sold by society over the years. Because, for example, the young girls growing up want this amazing fantasy wedding. They want it to be like this. It's built in the system. Now, the question coming back to what you're saying is that if you look at it, does a diamond ring work? Look at the stats. Yep. If the bigger the ring, maybe it should equal to a better marriage, a longer marriage. That doesn't work. It's not about the ring. It's about, use that stat if you want. And the other thing, Mr. Ray, things are changing. The young people are not being fooled too easily with the old superstitions of what we used to sell them. Now, if you look at the new young generation, they're not used to this. They want to be different. And things are changing drastically.
No, they
so
are.
We cannot be, and we should be asking why for everything else. Very good show, very good question, but it's not only about the diamond ring. Yeah. What about Christmas? What about Valentine's Day? What about all this?
Colin, you're right. You're right in what you're saying. You absolutely are. And if you go back to the days of James Bond, diamonds are forever. That was the whole thing. It was that whole theme tune in those days. And De Beers, they were so smart because they did control that narrative.
EWN Traffic.
17 past 8. This EWN Traffic brought to you by the House of Citroen. The all-new Citroen Basalt is here. Book a test drive at citroen.co.za. Right, so there was a bit of congestion earlier. What's happening now, Hamotso?
We'll start with Midrand, Ray. If you are still there, traffic remains heavily backed up on the N1 South. It is due to an earlier accident just after New Road. And if you are in a hurry, maybe try using Old Johannesburg Road and Old Pretoria Road and then connect to Allendale Road to rejoin the N1 South. If you are heading towards the Petlu interchange, there's traffic pressure on the N3 North. This is from Marlborough Drive. Meanwhile, the M1 North, you want to give yourself some extra time there for those peak time delays from Glenhove Road to Greyston Drive. I'll have more updates in just a bit.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
The all-new Citroen Basalt is here with keyless entry, wireless Apple and Android CarPlay. It's made to look good and make life easy. And that 470-litre boot, well, it's ready for every outfit change. And then some. The all-new Citroen Basalt Coupe SUV from 354,900 Rand. Register now for limited launch deal assist of up to 40,000 Rand. Book a test drive today at citroen.co.za. T's and C's apply.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Talking about MasterChef now, and this week on MasterChef South Africa, some of the most influential voices on radio got a seat at the table. What started as a surprise, no elimination day, quickly turned into something else quite more serious. Well, the contestants realized this was not about staying safe. It was about the real business of food. Teamwork, leadership, and performing when the pressure hits. The teams weren't cooking up a 2-course meal, you see. They were cooking something much more bigger for the voices on radio. Zweli, now that's a 947. Pippa Hudson, that's a Cape Talk. And then Dante as well. Split into red and blue teams, they were guided by 2 powerhouse chefs, Siba Ntungana and Nti Ramaboa. Now, Nti, hi, good morning. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me, Ray.
Oh, it's nice to have you here. It's nice to meet you in person.
Yeah.
Sure. You're quite a foodie. You really are. You're very lucky. You need to teach me things. How was your experience of being part of this week's MasterChef South Africa? Let's start there.
It was fun and nerve-wracking because I was mentoring a team and their hearts were in it and they wanted to win. So nerve-wracking because I also felt the pressure. I wanted to make sure that we come through as a team.
Okay. You were the blue team, I think, if I remember.
Team Blue.
Team Blue. And how
Yay.
did you? I wouldn't say did you feel let down because you guys did well. They won, didn't they?
Oh, absolutely. We came out there flying and everyone was excited, but it wasn't easy. I mean, we struggled a bit. We struggled to pull through.
What happened?
Well, I mean, if you know anything about MasterChef, you know the pressure is on. But just cooking for celebrities, we were to simulate a restaurant experience.
Okay.
And we had to make a meal that is perfect, that tastes good. And we had the color orange that we needed to make shine on the plate. And we had a time that was very tight to deliver on that.
How do you do that? Color orange?
Well, MasterChef spoils you with the pantry. You have a pantry that has everything. So our mandate was cook a duck, we had a meat dish, and on the pantry we had to select from just the color orange. So we had fruits and veggies we had to select from and plate beautifully. So we had a pantry that was just big and a lot of options. I feel like
have a sip of coffee.
Yes,
Karabo's taking your picture at the moment, everyone, so you can go to our 702 Facebook page and our other social media on Prime Media Plus and have a look. At one point, I noticed there was a bit of worry, there's a bit of panic.
Yes.
Why? What was going on there?
Well, the panic was obviously wanting to make sure the food tastes great and the judges approve of our plates, but 2, are we going to cook and finish on time? Because Team Red finished way before us. I think
Chef
they had
Siba,
Chef Siba's team. I mean, Chef Siba, one thing I learned about her when we were there is that she's a timekeeper. So she made sure that the team finished on time, and my team, looking at Team Red, everyone started to panic. But I was there to make sure that, we kept our cool and cooked through and made sure that we came out on top.
You won, but you won.
We
You
won.
What
We
was
won.
that like? I mean, what was the feeling like?
They were very excited. I must be honest, we struggled through our sauce. And the sauce for me carries the dish.
It does.
So it carries the dish. I was panicky when we were standing there and waiting for the judges to taste, and they give you feedback as they taste each element on your plate. And I'm looking at my team, and you can see that, their hearts are in it, and they're worried about elimination, because for them this is important. It's a competition they want to win. So yeah, but we won.
And there was a certain other radio star, Bongani.
Yeah.
There was him. There was also Pippa. There was Welly. I mean, I wouldn't want to cook for Bongani.
Exactly.
I wouldn't. I've seen what he does. He's brilliant.
Bongani is a foodie. I've seen him also on social media. And hence I was saying earlier, you get the pressure because these people love their food, and you're good as the plate that they have in front of them. And this is an important competition for the team leader was Jashan. Jashan, you could see him. He literally cried. He had a moment where he cried, Yeah.
For you, what was the highlight? What was the big moment? Apart from winning, of course.
Okay, the big moment for me was watching the team and how much they worked together. First thing is, we went into the pantry to come up with a game plan. Jashan was already, deciding how the plate's going to look, what plates we're going to use. And as a team, they understood their different strengths. And immediately there, I was mentoring, but I didn't do much because they were like, okay, this one is going to be on meat because he handles the protein better. And this one, obviously, Jashan is vegetarian, so he couldn't touch the protein.
Yeah.
And this one will handle the sauce because this is his strength. So for me, the highlight was just watching how well they work together, because that makes, the difference.
Sure, I got to meet you in person. Thank you very much, Nki. Thank you
Pleasure for having me.
Thank you for coming in. And yes, those pictures will be on Facebook.
Awesome.
I'm going to make sure of it.
Awesome.
I really am. Here we go, guys. That's MasterChef. Don't miss it. They are rebroadcast just in case you do.
702, The World View.
With Adam Gilchrist.
Morning, Adam.
Good morning. I'm just looking. No food samples? No delicious dishes to try?
No, you think they would be, but I don't know. It's like Bongani. He cooks like an absolute emperor, but he never brings anything in. But anyway, right, back to what we do, what we get paid for. Dead divers in the Maldives. This is a shocking story, hey?
Oh, an awful, tragic. A mother and daughter died in the course of this. All those who died were marine biologists or ecology experts, a diving instructor or a rescuer. So we know 4 Italian scuba divers. Their bodies have now been found in this underwater cave in the Maldives. A 5th body had already been found, and a Maldivian rescue diver also perished in trying to get them out of this cave. So 6 dead in total, by far the worst diving accident in Maldivian history. There are now efforts to bring the bodies to the surface, which will take some doing. The thing is, it's like they all knew what they were doing, but may have just gone a bit too far. Putting 2 and 2 together, the thought is that if they dive 60 meters, that's double the recreational limit for diving in the Maldives. There may have been tight tunnels. Maybe somebody got stuck. Maybe others got stuck behind them. There'd be limited visibility. They may have got disorientated down there, and that's one of the worst things that can happen to you when you're under the sea. And then ultimately, of course, all ran out of oxygen. It just looks like an awful, tragic accident, but I'm sure there will be some safety questions asked.
Yeah, I think so too, especially they still have to go and recover those bodies, which means it's very, very deep. An escaped tiger in Germany. Wow, shot after attacking a handler. I suppose that says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah, the tiger attacked a 72-year-old keeper inside its own enclosure. The keeper's been seriously injured and is in the hospital. The tiger then got out into the German town of Schkeuditz near Leipzig and was clearly a danger to the public, which is why police ultimately took no chances and shot the tiger dead. The thing is, the tiger had not escaped from a zoo, but from a privately owned facility on an industrial estate owned by Carmen Zander, aka Germany's Tiger Queen, who owns somewhere between 8 and 10 tigers in all and runs events with her tigers, one-of-a-kind events, she calls them, where people can get close up and pet the tigers. But let's be honest, zoos, I mean, large-scale zoos with all their protection facilities, they get criticized enough for having big cats because big cats somehow it feels wrong for them to be enclosed. But I get why big zoos do it and have breeding programs. But a small entertainment facility owned by a woman in an industrial estate keeping a load of tigers, it doesn't sound quite right, does it? But
No.
That's German law. That it was okay under German law. Whether they review that or not is another matter.
Yeah, that sounds. We had that in Edenvale, which is on our area of Ekurhuleni. We had a tiger running around there as well, and all sorts of questions. Then the AI conundrum: as artificial intelligence progresses, is it making us dumb? And I think that's such a good question.
Yeah, and it's certainly a sort of warning shot, if you like. Maybe there's not been around quite long enough yet. Maybe, people, I mean, I have tried to avoid using AI, but occasionally it seems to crop up. My son, who works in the film and TV industry, says it's already impacting big time and is messing with his career. So how many other careers will be affected? We know that a former Google CEO got booed when they addressed a graduation ceremony at the University of Arizona because people are so worried about AI. So here we have the Royal Museums Greenwich, the famous Royal Observatory, one of the oldest scientific institutions in the UK, indeed in the world. And the boss of this place says, well, if we over-rely on instant artificial intelligence answers, the kind of stuff that we put out there, it'll stop people exploring their own ideas, it'll limit human creativity and human innovation, and ultimately, he says, artificial intelligence could make humans less intelligent. Now, I'm not a fan of AI. I'm worried about it myself. But I would say they did say exactly that about, let's think, television, computers, video games, once upon a time reading. Would you believe there were even warnings that once upon a time radio would make us all stupid? Can you imagine?
Yeah, exactly. I don't trust them for a second. I mean, we're not dumb at all. Thank you, Adam. That's Adam and the World View. Thanks so much.
EWN Business.
29 past 8 o'clock. I mean, that's true. I mean, radio, really, Mateo? De Beers, that's the big story this morning. We've been talking about it. What's going on there?
Well, the proposed sale of De Beers, Ray, has become a heavy task for Anglo as diamonds lose their shine in the market. The sale of the diamond firm has become the single biggest hurdle looming over Anglo American's restructuring ambitions and its upcoming $95 billion merger with Canadian miner Teck Resources. Now, in the fourth quarter of 2025, Anglo American announced that De Beers diamond production decreased by 27% to 6 million carats. The company said the reduction followed the decision to reduce production to better reflect current trading conditions. So things have not been going well for the diamond price. Full year production is now expected to be at 29 million carats. Production at Debswana, the joint venture with Botswana's government, also decreasing by a notable 35% to 4.1 million carats. Diamond prices have dropped by between 26 and 30% in the past 2 years, also hit by lab-made diamonds that cost about 95% less.
Wow, there we go. Famous Brands delivers growth and opens more restaurants.
Yeah, South Africans still have appetites for fast food. The owners of restaurants like Steers and Debonair's Famous Brands posting growth for the year ending in February. Headline earnings per share up 12% there. That's a profit measure. Shareholders expecting a dividend of 10.7%, so smiling all the way to the bank there. Revenue increasing by 8.7 billion rand, and operating profit was also up 4.5%. Famous Brands owns 15 well-known restaurant chains in South Africa, including brands like Wimpy and Mug and Bean. Now, during the financial year, Famous Brands opened 105 new restaurants, increasing its total footprint by 3%.
Interesting. The markets and the rand?
Markets started off the week quite good, holding on to very marginal gains. The rand at this hour, 16 rand 62 against the US dollar, 19 rand 36 against the euro, 22 rand 30 cents against the British pound. Price of gold is down 0.5% at $4,544. Platinum also in the red at $1,966. Brent crude at $109 a barrel. Stephen Krotis with more this afternoon.
Thank you, Matteo. Brings us time to 8:32. Right, Sofiso, that raid is continuing, that crackdown in the Joburg CBD.
That's right, Ray. Good morning. Johannesburg Mayor Dada Morero says the city is ready to use the necessary force against anyone resisting a crackdown on illegal structures. More than 500 JMPD and SAPS officers and Home Affairs officials are this morning targeting buildings where crime has been reported. Officials say this is part of its efforts to reclaim the inner city. We cross now live to Jabulile Mbata in the CBD. Jabulile, the operation is moving fast this morning.
That's right, Ciso. Currently, the city officials have entered another building on Lillian Goyi Street called the SA Center Residential. The building has a distinct stench from uncollected waste. There is a puddle of water in the basement, which is home to some businesses by some foreign nationals. Deputy Joburg Mayor Loyiso Masuku says the businesses are operating illegally.
We did an inspection of the building. We can see illegally built structures at the basement of the building where they've built mini garages that they're utilizing for selling and storages. Secondly, in our system, we were able to pick up that the building owes us for rates and taxes, water and electricity to the value of 11 million.
Joburg water officials have disconnected their water infrastructure here, and lights are about to be switched off too. Jabulile Mbata, Eyewitness News, reporting live from Joburg CBD.
Pressure is mounting for the NPA to find a prosecutor who failed to pitch in court for a high-profile extortion case in Mpumalanga. He was found in contempt by the Kwaggafontein Magistrates Court yesterday, where taxi bosses Josi Banyoni, Bafana Sindane and two others were due to apply for bail. The matter was struck off the roll after Mkhuseli Ntaba was a no-show. A warrant for his arrest has been issued. Mongezi Koko reports.
The four accused faced 1 count of extortion and 2 counts of money laundering following allegations by a Mpumalanga businessman who claims he was forced to pay 2 million rand as a protection fee over 3 years. The prosecutor's no-show prompted the NPA to announce disciplinary action against him, placing him on suspension pending an internal process. The authority now says it has been unable to reach him, adding that it cannot rule out any possibility at this stage. NPA Special Director of Public Prosecutions, Mthunzi Mhaga.
We are unable to even think and speculate on what could have happened in the circumstances where there's no explanation that has been forthcoming.
The NPA says it is now working to re-enroll the matter through the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions in Mpumalanga. Mongezi Koko, Eyewitness News, Kwaggafontein.
The foot and mouth disease outbreak continues to spread in Gauteng, with authorities now racing to contain the highly contagious livestock virus. Nearly 300 more cases have been recorded, despite an aggressive mass vaccination campaign that's already seen more than 250,000 animals inoculated. Agriculture MEC Vuyiswa Ramokgopa says the battle to curb the disease continues.
We have a number of different vaccines that we are currently using. The Biogenesis Bargo vaccine, the Dolvat vaccine. We have not actually received our shipment as yet from Botswana.
She admits limiting the movement of animals has not been effectively implemented.
One of the things I will say that has been a challenge and continues to be a challenge is movement control and really restricting the movement of livestock in and out of the province, specifically livestock that is coming into the province for the purposes of sale or auction or otherwise. We have to do a bit more work with the relevant law enforcement officials.
And the World Health Organization chief says the deadly Hunter virus and Ebola outbreaks are the latest crisis in dangerous and divisive times. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus was speaking at the opening of the WHO's annual decision-making assembly in Geneva yesterday. Ghebreyesus declared Ebola, which has hit the Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda, an international health emergency over the weekend. Ghebreyesus says both the rare Hunter virus and Ebola are the latest crisis in a troubled world.
From conflicts to economic crisis to climate change and aid cuts, we live in difficult and dangerous and divisive times.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng today with isolated showers. The temperatures will peak at highs between 16 and 19 degrees.
In the traffic, look out for faulty traffic lights in Sandton at the M1 North and Grayston Drive, in Bramley at the M1 North and Quillet, as well as in Paulshof at Witkoppen and Rivonia Road.
The top story this hour, the Joburg mayor says the city is ready to use necessary force against anyone resisting a crackdown on illegal structures.
The Midday Report.
Weekdays,
12 to 1.
Afternoon, Mandy. As to why the police took long to arrest Brown Mokgotsi, it's either here nor there. But on Friday, Brown Mokgotsi had to be arrested either by the fashion police or by SAPS. Brown Mokgotsi had to be arrested, especially after coming there at the commission wearing a red blazer and a crop top.
No, I'm finished. I am finished. That is so true. He came in his crop top and his red blazer. You guys are too funny.
The Midday Report
with Mandy Wiener.
12 to 1 on 702.
702.
The world's best male and female paddle players are coming to South Africa for the historic Premier Paddle Pretoria P1 at the Sunbet Arena, Times Square, from the 26th of July to 2 August. Expect world-class action, unbelievable energy, live entertainment, premium hospitality, incredible food, and an atmosphere unlike anything South African sport has seen before. This is Africa's biggest paddle tournament ever, and tickets are selling fast. Don't miss your chance to witness the sport's biggest stars live in South Africa. Get your tickets now at primemediaplus.com.
Imagine if you could save time like you save money. A second here, a minute there. Type a little faster, walk a little faster. Or you could stop scrolling on the internet. Just think of all the hours you'll save. Now what if you could take all that time and invest it? Watch it grow. Until eventually, one day, you'd have so much time that you wouldn't know what to do with it all. But unfortunately, time doesn't work like that. It can't be stored or banked. And unlike money, you can't make it back. That's why after 50 years of investing, we've learned that time is the greatest gift of all. And the good news is, if you invest early, time gives you money. And then money gives you more time to do whatever you want to do, even if it is scrolling on the internet. Ellen Gray, long-term investing. Ellen Gray is an authorized FSP.
Hello, Joburg. The city of Johannesburg Executive Mayor, Councillor Dada Morero, invites you to tune in for the live broadcast of the 2026 State of the City Address on Wednesday, 20 May. The address themed Building a Foundation for the Future. Your city, our city, will be broadcast at 2 p.m. on the city's social media platforms. Mayor Morero will reflect on the city's progress and outline a way forward where investment in rebuilding infrastructure, reclaiming the inner city, and improving service delivery is prioritized.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Talking of first time injuries, I had a bicycle, I was about 12 or 13 at the time. So me and my friend decided we're going to take a bit of a ride, and then on a bit of a stretch of a road where we stayed, there are these, the broken lines on the road, and we decided we're going to weave through these lines, not realizing there's a car coming behind, and boom, it whacked me, fell off, jumped up, ran home, left the bike, just to find out the next morning I had a big swollen knee, couldn't move it. And yeah, the guy that knocked me actually came home that evening and explained to my parents, and was I in a lot of trouble.
Hi Ray, Lucretia here. The first broken bone I had was when my brother rode over my foot with my dad's car.
Ow.
He was just pulling the car out from the garage into the driveway, but he was 10 and I was about 7.
Morning team, Lerato here from Boksburg. I remember when I was growing up, you remember they had those irons, the stove top, the steel ones. So the lady from next door had borrowed the iron, and then Unfortunately, she brought it back after ironing, which it was still hot. So it fell on my thigh. I still have the scar up to today. My mother was so livid. She was so angry to say, how can an adult let a kid hold an iron like that? So I still remember those irons. I have a terrible memory of that iron. I don't want to see it anywhere near me.
Morning, Dr. Ray. I remember as a kid, my first real accident is I was walking on the wall, or the stop nonsense, if you're from Katlehong, and I was walking on the wall and I wasn't looking where I'm going, and I slipped and I fell off the wall onto a garden chair that was made of steel. And it was old and it was rusted. And on the side of my chest, on my side here, I was so badly injured. I remember for the first couple of seconds I couldn't even cry, and then I let out a really bad cry, and my mom came back from work. She was very upset. She actually would have hit me if I wasn't that injured.
Morning 702 fam, Mark here. How's everyone in the studio doing? I was about 8 years old, riding my bicycle in front of our house, and I got knocked over by a car that came around a corner. I woke up in a hospital having passed out with a broken finger, and seemed to have caused a ruckus in the family because my father's brother was visiting my mother's sister at the time, and that's how their affair was discovered. So I don't think it was just a physical injury. I think there was some family injury as well. Catch you later. Bye.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah, you see, that's when all the nasty details do come out. Wow. Talking about this morning, can you think back to your childhood and the first major fall you had, and what were you doing and what happened? So what happened to you? I mean, if you go back, I remember falling out of a tree. I broke my arm and they x-rayed it. I must have been about 5 or something, and they said to me, you got a green stick fraction. That sounded quite alarming. I just burst out crying. So that was my first little injury.
Jeez, you remember something that happened 50 years ago. Wow.
Don't be rude now. Cindy, anything happened that left you traumatized?
So many falls, Ray. I've got 2 older brothers, so I was always rough and whatever. But the one is definitely, my mother has this, and those that know her house will know this, has a plant box between the garden and the driveway. So it's a face brick plant box. So if you could imagine, it's got 2 little walls, etc. It's about knee high. So we used to, because it's got 2 sides, 2 long sides, we used to race each other, my brothers and I. So you've got to keep your balance because it's a single brick wide, and you're on almost like a balance beam. And I was racing my one brother on there, and he pushed me and I slipped and I sliced my leg open. And my mother was at work, and we lived with grandmothers, and they all came out and face cloths and ice and whatever. My mother got home in the afternoon and she was like, it looks okay. I should have had stitches. My leg was sliced open. I still have a scar to this day. And she's like, on hindsight, I should have taken you for stitches. These days, you would have rushed your kids off. There would have been an ambulance. There would have been a plastic surgeon involved. Like, there would have been a whole thing. And my mom was like, it looks bad. You'll be fine.
But those were those days. You would come home bloody and dirty, and your mother would go like, get in the bath.
Yeah.
That was it. Get in the bath.
Yeah. And the teacher at school actually said to her the next day, because I went to school with my leg bandaged.
Yeah.
And the teacher was like, do you not think you should have had that stitched? And I was like, possibly.
Yeah, think.
Possibly.
Mom.
EWN Sport.
So if you look at the equation of everything, I suppose Arsenal will have a bigger fan base. How does that work?
Bournemouth are going to have Arsenal's fan base tonight, 1,000%. Because if Bournemouth beat Manchester City tonight, and Bournemouth are the hosts, then Arsenal will be crowned Premier League champions tonight. I can't bear.
I don't want to watch this. My heart can't take it anymore.
Last night, the Gunners beat relegated Burnley 1-0. Havertz with the goal from a soccer corner. Here's boss Mikel Arteta.
I think we forget the amount of players that we have missed for long periods this season, that they are exceptional. But that's the merit, I think, and of this team, that regardless of that, look where we are. We are 1 game away from winning the Premier League with everything that we've been through, and that shows how strong the mindset and the team is.
The BBC is reporting that Pep Guardiola will leave Manchester Manchester City at the end of the season. City maintained Guardiola has a contract for next season and are hopeful he'll remain as manager. But the BBC reporting that work towards his anticipated exit after 10 years is underway at the Etihad, with members of staff of the understanding he will leave. Also tonight, a huge game for Tottenham Hotspur, who will secure their spot in the Premier League with victory over Chelsea. PGMOs admitted that Manchester United's second goal against Nottingham Forest in a 3-2 win should not have been given. Ref Salisbury overruled VAR after the ball struck Mbeumo's arm in the build-up to Cunha scoring. VAR ruling no goal, while Salisbury said the contact was accidental. Bafana opens the FIFA World Cup against co-hosts Mexico in just over 3 weeks from now. The latest squad to be named in Brazil's, they've included Neymar, leaving out Esteval and João Pedro, and the Lions sweating over the fitness of scrum half Morne van den Berg. He's flown home for treatment on an injured bicep and is a doubt for the URC quarterfinal with Leinster next weekend. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
It's 6 a.m. in Kenya. Victor's little sister starts high school today, but her fees need to be paid first. Back in Jozi, Victor logs onto the Absa banking app and sends her money and a little extra for lunch. It arrives instantly.
Your money makes their world go round. Send cash to 18 countries across the world with Absa Global Pay. It's safe, instant, and affordable. Your story matters. Absa is an authorized FSP and a registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
When tax issues get complex, you need more than general advice. You need specialist insight. AJM turns intricate tax challenges into clear strategic solutions. From disputes and litigation to long-term planning, our expertise protects what matters to you and your business. With teams in Cape Town, Johannesburg, and Namibia, we deliver the rigorous analysis high-stakes decisions demand. AJM. Complex tax matters simply resolved.
We asked rugby legend Francois Steyn what he thinks of the all-new Toyota BZ4X. France, would you say the BZ4X is a rugged all-wheel drive SUV?
Yeah.
Cool. Was the acceleration and handling good?
Yeah.
All right. So you think the BZ4X can handle South Africa?
Wat dink jy?
Well, there you have it. The all-new Toyota BZ4X, an all-wheel drive battery electric SUV made to handle South Africa. The BZ4X. It just got real.
EWN Traffic.
It's 11 minutes to 9 o'clock, right? Rush hour is almost officially over. That's 9 o'clock. What are we looking at, Kamotso?
That is true. Thank you, Ray. Traffic conditions are easing up a little bit in most parts of the province, except for a few spots like Midrand, where traffic remains congested in the N1 South due to an accident just after a new road. Like I said earlier, as an alternative, please consider using Old Johannesburg Road or Old Pretoria Road and then connecting to Allendale Road to rejoin the N1 South. If you are coming from Johannesburg CBD, traffic remains sluggish on the M2 West. This is as you approach the Crown interchange. And in Booysens, there are also still some persisting peak time delays on the M1 North as you get closer to the Crown interchange. Also look out for faulty traffic lights and four-ways at Winnie Mandela and Monte Casino. In Woodmead, at Woodmead and Woodlands, and over in the capital city. Traffic lights are also out in Rosslyn at the R566 and Paul Kruger, and in Gasfontein at EC Smart Street and Gasfontein Road. Pointsmen are on duty there, so no need to worry much. I'll have more updates at the top of the hour.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
If your mechanic was becoming way too expensive, you'd switch, right? So why pay more for car insurance? Switching to OutSurance saved 35-year-old Zanaya a whopping 1,180 Rand on her 2017 Mercedes-Benz GLA. Get a quote now, and if OutSurance can't save you money, ask for 500 Rand or 1,500 Rand if you're being claim-free with the same insurer for 3 years. Do it now. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142, a licensed insurer and an FSP. T's and C's and information online.
Oh, Shane, do you have a sore throat? The Andalex range of lozenges offers two options. At the first signs of an irritated, scratchy throat, use Andalex lozenges for dual action, soothing relief. But for a painful, inflamed throat, use Andalex C lozenges for triple action, pain relief. Andalex, SA's #1 choice for a sore mouth and throat. Andalex lozenges are available at all leading pharmacies and supermarkets.
Just Andalex it.
Hi South Africa, I'm Michael Owen. If you appreciate world-class sport and a great occasion, the Hollywood Bets Durban July is the place to be. The theme for 2026 is Country Allure, which sees the rustic style of the countryside meet the cosmopolitan cool of the city. On Saturday the 4th of July, it all comes together at Hollywood Bets Greyville, Africa's greatest horse racing and social event. I'll see you there.
Coming up
on the Clement Manyatela Show
on 702.
Lots coming up this morning. Talking paddle shortly. I'm looking forward to that. I'll be chatting to Toby Bardenhorst. He's the Vice President of Prime Media Sport. Hamotso Modise. What a lovely surprise this morning.
Raga Raisins.
That's me.
It's so good to see you.
It's amazing what you guys call me in the news department.
Yeah, Raga Raisins, Mragazana, Razor, what's the other one? Papa Ray?
I'm losing count. I really am. What do you? We've been talking about diamond rings this morning, you see, and it's been our talker. Is it important to have that diamond ring? And it's a bit of a controversial topic. Others say, no, I love him anyway. And others say, where's my ring now?
Listen, I don't know. I think it's one of those things, man. Like in the somewhere deep inside of you, you actually want the ring. And I think it's the modest thing to say, no, it's okay. But I don't think anyone would turn the ring away, right? Or reject it. But also I understand, I mean, there's a lot of anxiety around rings. I was actually saying to the colleagues that my husband panics so much when he can't find his ring.
Yes.
And I'm always just like, you'll find it. It's somewhere in the house. And he really panics. There's so much anxiety around keeping your ring safe. And I don't think there should be.
But why take it off? I mean, this stays on me. My wedding ring stays on me 24/7, 365.
Oh, I can't sleep with my rings.
Okay, it's too heavy. That's why. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. What you got coming up today?
Lots coming on the show, Ray. I mean, we're going to be speaking. We can't ignore what happened in the Kwaggafontein Magistrates Court yesterday.
Where is this guy?
Yeah, no one knows where he is. I'm hoping the NPA will be able to come onto the show and tell us if they've been able to find him. But also, I've got some thoughts around what happened yesterday. The part of the NPA in all of this. This is a prosecutor who had said that he was not going to be able to come to court, and he was ordered to come to court, and then we saw what happened yesterday. So it's quite a mess if you ask me, and I'm sure the listeners have a lot to say about this as well. So that's in the open line. And then in the second hour of the show, we're going to be speaking to members of parliament who are going to be on the impeachment committee. So a number of the political parties have started actually saying and announcing the names of their candidates who are going to be in the impeachment committee for the Section 89 panel report, Pala report for President Cyril Ramaphosa. We're going to be speaking to Glynis Breitenbach from the DA, who's representing the DA.
New job there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Musi Maimani, who's also representing Bosa in the impeachment committee, about what they're expecting on that process. And then a conversation that we can't stop having, because AI is the buzzword right now. How to build skills that matter most in an AI-driven workplace. It's a difficult conversation. I love having conversations about AI because it forces me to think about my job.
Sure, yeah.
And I think we're all confronted with that right now, about how to gain the skills that we need to stay relevant. Are we going to be replaced?
Well, there might not be Hamotso Modise coming up. It might
Imagine.
be Bob or something soon. So you've got to be careful.
So that's in the final hour of the show. We'll also be talking about respiratory syncytial virus. It's a respiratory virus that affects babies and young children. That's in the final hour of the show.
There we go. That's Hamotso Modise in for Clement Manyatela. That's between 9 and 12 today.
That's Thabo before he got naked. When Thabo's car broke down, he did what every manly man does best. Hit things, fiddle, and hope it works. So Thabo got naked. He got comprehensive car insurance in seconds and can now call roadside assistance anytime on the Naked app. Tools down, Thabo. Cover your car and home now at naked.insure and see how easy insurance can be when you get naked. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP. Get naked.
Joburg is more than just a city. It's an energy, a pulse, and a feeling connecting everybody. The heart of Mzansi.
It's Joburg.
In celebration of this, 702 has partnered with Jozi My Jozi, and we're calling on you to walk through the city center with us.
Walk the talk.
In the 702 Jozi My Jozi Walk the Talk. Babize bonke. On Sunday, 26 July, we're going to the iconic Joburg CBD, the home of dream creators and operators, where we dominate and history make. So join us and be a part of something special.
I'm ready to rock this book.
Because when Joburg walks together, extraordinary things happen. Enter now on primemediaplus.com and get ready for 702 Jozi My Jozi Walk the Talk this July, hosted by the city of Johannesburg. Walk with the people, for the people, for our Jozi. Babise bonke. Enter Walk the Talk now on primemediaplus.com.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
4 minutes to 9 o'clock, and talking about paddle now. And here's a story that we have mentioned before, paddle, but there have been many, many developments since. And paddle started as a weekend hit on a few courts in South Africa. Now it's a nationwide obsession. And I talk about obsession, I've been watching this. And South Africa is about to take it to the world stage. The country will host a premier paddle tournament, which has now been upgraded to a P1 status, one of the highest tiers of the global tour. Renamed the Pretoria Premier P1, of course. It lands at the Sunbet Arena from the 26th of July to the 2nd of August. And I'm looking forward to this. And joining us in studio is Toby Badenhorst, who's the Vice President of Prime Media Sport. Toby, good to chat to you once again. Okay, what is a P1 event? Please explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old, because you need to.
Okay. Good morning, Ray, to you and all the listeners. So it's very much like tennis, where in tennis you obviously have your ATP finals, the 4 Grand Slams, and then it sort of scales down from the ATP 1000s down to the 250s. So paddle is structured exactly the same way, with the Premier Paddle Finals in Barcelona in December every year. They've got their 4 majors as well, and then their P1s and P2 categories. So initially, as Prime Media Sports, serving as the official promoter of this promotion, we signed a 3 exclusive agreements as a P2 category. But when the war broke out in the Middle East, we reached out to Premier Paddle because the Qatar event was due to take place in April, and we said, if it doesn't take place, we put our hand up to elevate the category, which essentially means a P2, you get 600 ranking points, and it's approximately prize money of about 5 million rand. A P1 is basically double that, so 1,000 ranking points and approximately 10 million rand in prize money.
Wow.
So when the Qatar major event was cancelled, they phoned us the next morning to say that conversation we had, would you be interested in elevating the status of it as a P1? So there are 28 events globally on the Premier Paddle schedule in all the major cities, Miami, London, Paris, you name it. And our Pretoria will be on that calendar. So the players there, 22 best scores of the 28 scheduled event counts, and the P1s they can't skip. So the top players are obligated now to come to South Africa, where the world's best male and female paddle players will contest the Pretoria P1 from the 26th of July to the 2nd of August, which marks a historic occasion for us as South Africa.
That's huge. Absolutely. And Prime Media Sports got it, which I think really deserves a massive celebration. How can people come and watch? Tickets are available. It's the Sunbet Arena.
Yeah, it's Sunbet Arena. So we've already launched ticket sales, which is accessible via primemediaplus.com. And for the early parts of the week, prices range from 250 to 650 Rand per person. And for the latter stages, from 650 to 1,250 Rand per person. So we've tried to keep it as low as possible because we know sports fans have been complaining about how expensive ticket prices are. And we ultimately just want to fill the arena and put up a good show for not just as the Prime Media Group, but as South Africa as a destination, because we'll be hosting over 300 of the world's best male and female paddle players. And thus far, in the first week and a half, we've sold over 4,000 tickets already. The finals weekend, the lower bowls are pretty much sold out.
Yeah.
So, and it's a fun-filled festival with food and loads of entertainment around the event. So, whether you're a paddle fan or not, I think it's really worth to come and see this for the first time. It is a great spectator sport, and we're looking to entertain all of the paddle fans out there.
There we go. Come and see it. I will be there in front of the queue. Toby Badenhorst, Vice President of Prime Media Sport. Thank you so much for joining us on 702 Breakfast. I do appreciate you taking the time. Thank you.
702 podcasts are on 702.co.za.
We've discussed so much this morning and ending up with paddle. I'm really looking forward to that. So if I didn't get your WhatsApps, your SMSs, or emails, no problem. We'll do it all again tomorrow. It's just after 9 o'clock.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulum. The owners of the Marble Tower building in the Joburg CBD have filed an